Yay! What's up, everybody?
We made it.
I am Brandon Jones. This is Michael Huber. And this is the Easy Allies Community Showcase. I think everything's up and running okay. Keep in mind, I was on paternity leave for 2 months. So I'm just coming back. I'm setting stuff up. If anything looks funky or sounds funky, I was like ready to boot up the old Showcase project. And I'm like, let me just make a duplicate of the very last thing we used in this room. And then like, I'll just base everything off that. So hopefully everything is set up. But I tell you, man, you coming back in blind. If I was flying blind, if I was coming in flying blind, I'm a co-pilot. I need a co-pilot.
Yeah.
I don't know where the runway is. I see lights. There's lots of lightning, rain. Nobody I would want more in my pilot seat than Daniel Bloodworth. And if Bloodworth wasn't around, I would want Michael Huber.
Thanks, Jones.
So here's what this is.
You would want
Everybody, let me know. Cool. Everything seems okay. Here's what this is. This is Easy Allies Community Showcase. This is our $10 and above tier on patreon.com/easyallies. You too can be a part of it. Not this one, way too late, but if you want to be around for the month of October, and sorry I don't have you around for October, Huber. It's already started, dude. Halloween at Disneyland's in like 2 days. It starts.
I get hosed.
Oh, wait, for Disneyland because you don't like the Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, controversial. I don't like the Disneyland Halloween Haunted Mansion. I like the traditional. Because ironically...
Not enough to actually go during the summer or anything, but, you know.
Too expensive. Too much money. Can't go to Disneyland. Can't afford it. But when I do go, I like to go to regular.
Disneyland is wicked expensive. I'm never going to defend their wacky pricing.
The Halloween Haunted Mansion is somehow, like, more jolly and less intense. I want, like, the dark...
Yeah, I will say, we haven't even talked about what the showcase is yet, but I will say one moment that's really great. The Elfman soundtrack throughout the whole thing is really great. When it la 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 la, if the elevator starts going, like 'twas the nightmare before Christmas. That part's really great.
Can't argue.
But I hear you. And the room with everybody, the flying around, that room's so boring the rest of the year. There's just nothing there.
You're right.
In Florida, that room's awesome. It's like a big library.
I'll give you it, Jones.
Florida Mansion's so cool.
I'll give you it.
Community Showcase, $10 tier. If you're at that tier, we put up a post at the end of the month. In that post, you can do a lot of things. You can do, people are breaking the boundaries of what they can do. They're making their own games and keeping us updated on their progress. They're leaving just comments, which is what we're going to start on. We're just going to talk about what people have been playing, what they've been up to the last couple months. And you can also submit music that you've written. You can submit photographs you've taken, drawings you've done. I love screenshots because it's fun to just have those or like gameplay from people playing the last month.
Yes.
Because it's like that's the circle of life. That's what we spit out into the world and love when it comes back. It's just like, here's what I'm playing. Here's me getting those trophies.
Love it.
And then we go through the whole thing. Usually takes between 2 and 3 hours. So buckle up, Huber.
Settle in.
It's time to kick it off with some comments.
Let's hear it.
Caesar Villa. Every time I see the word Villa, I think of Perfect Dark. Every time.
Is that the...
That's where you go and rescue your boss.
Good multiplayer stage 2 with like the kind of like cobblestone tiles.
It's like red tiles. Is it stage 2? It's really 2. Well, no, it's like scenario 2.
Got it.
There's like 3 stages in the first like level. There's like getting there, going through the building, escaping.
Got it.
And then I think it's level 4. Good level. Caesar Villa's like, get to the question. Previously a community showcase. Quote from Caesar Villa. And while it's not the hardest game out there, and now, on with the show. Hello, HBO. That's Huber, Brandon, and others. August was a crappy month for my gaming. Very little progress here and there, so this will be full of tangents. I picked up the second quest on Minute, and oh my god, I take that opening statement back. Holy cow, is this thing hard. 20 seconds less in each cycle, plus a weaker weapon, plus 1 hit, and I'm dead? Wow, just wow. The masochist in me had a blast going through all that until the credits rolled a second time. Minute?
I know about it. I haven't played it.
Yeah. Definitely a game, once you see a screenshot, you'll never forget what that game looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
Working on my road to Breath of the Wild. Triforce Heroes is not as bad as I said last month. It's still the second worst game in the franchise, but I've been enjoying it quite a bit more. I may even get the courage to ask my wife and cousin to play with me so I can unlock all the stuff. Let's see how this month goes. Another game blocking my Breath of the Wild path is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for the GBA. I have this rule of sticking to a game per type of console, but with that one, I dropped the ball. I started it thinking I would play it with the wife, while the wife watched her team's soccer matches. Need more information about that.
Yeah.
But her team has been doing badly. Oh, and she doesn't even watch them anymore. It's like doing wrestling.
I know.
So the game is abandoned. The bits I've played I've enjoyed a lot, so I expect to pick it up and beat it in the next couple of months. That's a fun concept. Like a game fits a part of your life. That part of your life goes away, so does the game.
Totally.
The bits I've played, I've enjoyed a lot, so I expect to pick it up and beat it in the next couple of months. And then last game in this post is Adventures of Lolo 2 for the NES. If you haven't heard of it, you're not alone. You probably haven't even noticed the first game is part of the NES Online thing on the Switch. It's a great puzzle game from HAL Laboratories, and don't worry, Huber, lasers weren't even invented when the game was released. Give it a try if you will. Maybe now that Stranger Things 3 is over, you may want to try it with Adamant. Since I have a few words to spare, I'll tell you about my October plans. I've been wanting to play Resident Evil 0 for Halloween for a couple of years now.
Okay.
But something always got in the way. Zero's an easy game to put off, I think.
Yeah.
Not this October. I will play that game no matter what. I've heard from you guys that it's not that good, but hey, we need the bad to recognize the good, and removing that one from the roadmap. Maybe next October I'll pick up RE2 Remake. That's it for this month, allies. Keep up the good work, and congrats on the launch of Phase 4. It was hard to watch Game Sleuth and Tabletop Escapades go, but I hope it's for the best. Can't wait for Prison of Love. Love and respect, Caesar. Gotta talk about Resident Evil 0.
Got to.
Because we got you here.
They have the remaster version you can play.
On Switch, right?
I believe, yeah, it is now. The remaster, though, Jones?
I think I got the code. I think Blood emailed me the code for that.
You did, yeah. You can play, this was new to the PS4 Xbox version. You can play as Wesker.
Oh my god.
And you can go through...
When you beat it, right?
No.
Beat it once and then...
You just get it outright, Wesker mode, and he
For Resident Evil, that is shocking.
He has the dash. You know how he dashes like intense and vive? So you can like dash through. Dude, it's fun. It's fun. Also, really enjoy the train segment. Take your time, enjoy it, because after the train, it's all downhill, but the beginning third or so of that game, the train is amazing. It's
so great. I didn't play it until the retro, and it's kind of fun to like smear your experience over like the entire franchise, filling in all the little crevices of just like didn't play that. It was interesting doing that for Castlevania, and Zero was fascinating because like when I was done with it, I'm like, yeah, that item thing sucks. That's like the main thing you got to look for is they're like, I get what they were going for. Yeah. It's so obvious it was a mistake because they never did it again.
They never balanced it right.
Nothing even close. But like they were onto something in the idea that like you can't, if you put something in a chest, it's just there. Like there's no magic chests that carry throughout the game. Inevitably, I would say on a first playthrough at least 5 times, you're going to be like, oh, I need that
the grapple.
40 minutes away.
Don't leave the grapple at the train. Take that grapple, put it somewhere closer.
But if you have like 6 slots in your inventory, you're like, no, I'm dropping everything. I'll be back. I can walk back, no problem. It's a problem. It'll great. But the story, especially if you played Remake, if you've only played 1 and not Remake, or you remember 1 more, or you played 1 more, it's still cool. It sets up 1, but like, especially after Remake, and they had that engine, and they had just retold that story, and I imagine they had all these kooky notes and stuff. And they were like, all that extra stuff we didn't put in Remake, let's just slip that in the prequel. Very good.
Totally.
So yeah, there are definitely really, really good parts. Tempting to play that in October. I got the code waiting for me. Megan Linhart. Hello, Jones and Huber. I'm back with another Twilight review. And this time it's Breaking Dawn Part 1. Seen it? Breaking Dawn Part 1. No! Seen any of the Twilights?
Not out of any animosity, just because my Beth had seen them all and read them all like back in the day.
Oh.
And then we haven't. She doesn't like them.
Oh.
She doesn't like them at all, but she's seen them and read them all.
If I was in Vegas, I would have rolled the dice that Beth brought that into your life, but she didn't. Okay.
Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings.
She brought Lord of the Rings into your life?
Harry Potter. No, not Lord of the Rings. But she likes, I'm saying she likes Lord of the Rings.
Got it.
Yeah. No room for Twilight.
No, there's no room.
Yeah.
I want to say, it may not seem like it, but I'm a big fan of these films. I watch them all the time. They're super fun, and they have just the right amount of silliness that keeps me coming back. And you know what's fun now is this franchise is the kind of thing where, like, you see some weird, like, werewolf or vampire or monster in the background, and you're like, wait, is that guy from that movie? You know, it's like these people, like, booked it in their 20s, and now they're in their 30s, and they're on these amazing shows. They're winning Emmys, and and you're like, wait a minute. I know who that is. But when it comes to these last 2 films in the saga, I honestly skip them. First of all, the splitting the last book into 2 films has to be one of the most pointless things to ever happen.
I didn't expect this.
They stretch the plot out so thin to make 2 films that really hurts the pacing and makes the movie a chore to watch. The film opens with a trash bag Bella and Edward planning their wedding for 20 minutes. The actual wedding happens soon after and is actually a pretty nice scene. After some more meandering, we get to their honeymoon where they finally make love, only for Bella to immediately become pregnant. This demon baby ends up growing super fast and is also practically eating Bella from the inside, but she wants to have it. This brings the attention to the dopey werewolves who are all freaked out because of it. This is the basic plot, and this film takes this and stretches it out for 2 whole hours that I can never get back. The werewolf, you're helping us though. You're helping get it back here. The werewolf effects are somehow worse than the other films, which sucks because they stretched it.
Yeah, what?
Which sucks because it's the most you see them, and they look like a Sci-Fi Channel original movie at times. They couldn't even get a real baby, so they made it CGI, which still haunts my dreams. Amanda's been dying to break this out. We were driving around, and she was like, yeah, blah, 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 kind of like the CG baby from Twilight. And I was like, what? And she's like, you remember the CG baby from Twilight? And I'm like, I can't picture it.
And what was the other...
I'm like, I can't picture it in my head. And she's like, we need to break out part 1 just so you can see this weird CG baby.
What was the other fake baby?
Sniper?
Sniper or like The Martian or something? Well, I feel like Matt Damon is involved for some reason.
It's Bradley Cooper and it's Sniper.
Bradley Cooper, American Sniper.
American Sniper!
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Which I haven't seen.
Okay.
I've never seen this child.
Yeah.
But it's infamous. You
Yeah.
know, it's like... It's like 3 Men and a Baby with like the thing in the window, you know? Like the ghost in the window. Like the bird in the back of Wizard of Oz.
Top
like
10 fake babies, Jones. Oh my god.
But that puts in perspective what Bradley Cooper's got to go through to deliver that performance.
Yeah.
Even if they hit it better, Bradley Cooper's still staring right at that thing, and he's got to bring it.
Well done, Bradley.
Bradley Cooper, shout out. Hangover, finally watched it to completion in one sitting all the way through like days ago.
All 3 of them, the whole
No,
Hangover?
it's first one.
Okay.
I remember it, but I don't think I ever actually like
One's
watched it.
good.
You know, one's pretty funny.
Yeah, I liked it.
95% of the time, the characters are just sitting around doing nothing of value, just staring at each other. Jacob's character continues to have about as much personality as a wet mop, and Bella is still so stubborn and unlikable. The film takes place roughly in the same location, and it's a tough time making it interesting. The director really didn't do much with the camera to make it stick out and have its own identity. It's so bloated and filled with pointless meandering, it's hard to recommend this one to anyone. I loved the other films for their silliness and dopiness, but this one loses that and just becomes a boring mess. That is all I have this time around. Don't worry, only one more review to go, and we're moving on to the live-action Alvin and the Chipmunks trilogy. Trilogy.
I
knew that. No, I knew that.
I had
That's
no
right.
idea.
No, I knew that. So be excited for that.
Is that with
I'm here
Mallrats?
to review.
What's his name?
What? Kevin Smith?
No, other guy. Actor?
Jason Mew?
Jason, no. Other guy. Main guy in Mallrats. Jason Lee.
No.
There it is. He's in Alvin and the Chipmunks, right? Jason Lee?
Yes.
Yes.
He's,
okay, we got there.
I don't remember his name.
Dave. Dave, yeah, Dave.
Dave.
Hey, Dave!
You fan of the early Kevin Smith?
Yeah. I thought you were going to go Alvin and the Chipmunks, dude. Big fan of Alvin and the Chipmunks cartoon. Huge.
Oh, I mean the OG.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
Love it.
Fascinating story about the Chipmunks, just back in the day, the music, how it started, and all that stuff. How it was one guy.
Where do you stand with Scooby-Doo?
Just want to make sure it's Dave. Where do I stand with Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you... What, like,
do you love Scooby-Doo? You Scooby-Doo fan?
of course, dude.
Okay. Dude, had no idea. Return to Zombie Island is coming out. Do you remember back in the day the movie, they go to Adventure on Zombie Island? Where the zombies were real. It was like real ghosts. It was like the best Scooby-Doo movie ever.
Yeah.
They're going back. It's coming out. Chat. I guess they premiered it at Comic-Con.
Have you heard about Scoob?
No.
Scoob exclamation point? They're making a new animated movie, and it's like they're like it's not like as drastic as like a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. Because every time TMNT comes back, it's like I guess they look okay.
Yeah.
But it's so drastic when you first see them because
Totally.
they just keep. There's so many versions of the Turtles. So yeah, I just saw somebody like oh Scoob's looking good, and I'm like Scoob. I totally missed Scoob. Scoob. No, yeah, that I mean
Zombie Island.
It was ghosts, man.
Yeah.
Ghosts and scary stuff and zombies and
The best.
and all that stuff. And it like the other thing too is it's funny like as a kid when people met other people,
Yeah.
you know, and like they like hung out with Batman and Robin. That was like a big deal for me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know they were like in the same universe and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Sonny and Cher, whoa. You know? Yeah, hell yeah.
The Harlem Globetrotters is one of my favorites. I remember.
And the Scooby-Doo movies are not great, but
Zombie Island, dude.
But I
Culmination.
respect him. What's his name?
The
Mr.
live
Beast, the
action.
person. Yeah.
Matthew
They tried.
Lillard, dude. I'm a fan.
I get a sense they tried. You
Yeah.
know, I can say I can feel a lot of love.
Freddie
in that movie,
Prinze's
but-
heart was in it.
Yeah, he was definitely the worst cast.
He was so in it though.
He was in it. Juan Roland Jr., Hola, Brandon and E. Huber. Starting off with some much-deserved love and respect. Huber, I recall my first video of you being on Huber syndrome, and the first word I heard was, "Hey everyone, today's episode of Huber syndrome," which led me to immediately pause and think, whoa, that was intense. Honestly, thought of you putting on a display, hence the name of the show, but after watching you more throughout other Easy content, I realized this dude is for real. Your absolute love and respect for pretty much everything hits me in the feels every time, except for Goldeneye. I never knew about you guys prior to Easy, so when YouTube recommended your reaction to the Shenmue 3 and FF7 remake announcements, it became an immediate favorite. Brings tears to my eyes every time because you can clearly see this is someone that truly loves video games. Brandon, you become the stability I needed from the crew. Whenever you've involved with something, I know I'll get a good and thorough explanation of whatever's being discussed, and having you as the voice of Easy just seals the deal. Always excited to hear what you have to say during Cup of Jones, whether it's business or personal. You're so well spoken that I typically listen to you talk about things I wouldn't normally entertain. I also enjoy your hot takes on subjects that come up, whether it's something you honestly don't agree with, or even when you play devil's advocate to show the other side of a topic. Like the other allies, I can't imagine you not being part of the team, and thank you for what you do. Since my last... yeah. We rule. I'm just kidding. Since my last submission in the July showcase, I've been able to push through more of the games in my backlog, and then pause it to play games that I wasn't expecting to. As usual, finished all of these games on the Switch, unless it's a console exclusive elsewhere. Rhyme, Detroit Become Human, The Messenger, What Remains of Edith Finch, SteamWorld Heist, Shadow of the Colossus Remake, I Am Setsuna, Double Dragon 2, and finally the Dragon Quest XI demo. Double Dragon 2 bolts out of that lineup. All of those are like, yep, totally.
Yep.
Whoa!
Double Dragon 2.
Running time of Double Dragon 2, one playthrough. What?
40 minutes.
Hour 40?
Yeah.
Does it break an hour?
Is it the new Double Dragon 2 or the old? Because then they like remake Double Dragon and it was like really bad.
Details are important.
Yeah.
Regarding Dragon Quest XI, having never played one before, I was nervous about trying this one out so late in the series, but it was entirely worth it. So polished, I can't wait to play the full game on the Switch. At least the 10 hours I put into the demo will carry over to the full release, which is very much appreciated. That's the thing, man. We talk about that Dragon Quest XI on Switch. It's like so weird, the stuff that they're adding, and it's weird the other versions aren't getting that, but like, if you haven't really watched the coverage on PS4 and thought this might be something that you wanted to check out, and then heard it was coming to Switch, and so you're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll get that. You are stoked.
Yeah, they're stoked.
That is such a dope
You are
RPG to
stoked.
take around.
Yep.
Woo!
Stoked.
Yeah.
100 hours.
Really puts into perspective not necessarily needing to jump on a PS4 RPG right away.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, might come to the Switch.
So true.
And then it might all come together.
You really don't need to jump on anything right away.
Right.
That's what I'm learning. I'm coming around the immediate
Well,
play on the zeitgeist. I'm coming around to just play later.
I mean, the zeitgeist sped off away from me at 80 miles an hour, Huber. I couldn't grab the zeitgeist if I tried.
Yeah.
It was standing in front of me. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling like, well, there went that summer. It's interesting. Like every movie, every game, you know,
Going.
okay. I got a Spider-Man movie yet. I wonder if that's so cool. See that in December.
Jones, I saw
See,
it
Disney
twice.
Plus. Disney Plus. See that when Disney Plus comes out. At least 10 hours in the demo, I will carry over the full release, which is very much appreciated. Currently working on Remnant from the Ashes with a friend and playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night when I'm not home. Appreciate you guys putting together the developer showcase for Remnant because it sealed my decision on getting the game. My buddy and I are always itching to get back into it every night. It definitely has some jank moments, but it's been worth the price for sure. Reminder to anyone interested that it's currently digital only. Amor y respeto, Juan Roland Jr.
Yeah, we want to do more of those. That's always something we're trying to do. Just when the opportunity presents itself for devs to come in, devs obviously to feel comfortable to bring their game here in an unfinished state. Because a lot of the, it's like, oh, why don't you guys have like Naughty Dog over? It's like, dude, Naughty Dog is like Fort Knox right now, probably. Last of Us coming out. So anytime we can do those, we are down.
Brandon Kagan, we've finally made it to September, and the rush of releases has begun with the likes of Man of Medan, Astral Chain, and Control over the last couple weeks, this month being packed. While I'm looking, we were scheduling the games
Astral Chain,
for September.
Jack.
We're scheduling the games for September. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. Brad Ellis.
Yeah.
Doing work.
Brad and Ben were particularly like, it's just like, and then we would get to like, all right, September 22nd, this game. It's like, there's no time. No time. I might review a game in September though. Right. Hopefully. Hopefully all the time. Yeah. There's one game in September. I was like, I'll grab that puppy. Well, I'm looking forward to, and we'll talk about next month, Borderlands 3, Gears 5, and Creature in the Well again. I want to give my thoughts on the 2 games I played in August. The first is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. While this came out at the end of June, I inexplicably lost the desire to get it the day before release, and I still don't understand why.
It happens. It happens.
But a month later, I decided to go ahead and purchase it, and I'm glad I did. It's just as gorgeous as the Insane Trilogy, and it took a little while to get back into the groove of things, as I haven't played the original CTR since I was a kid, but once I relearned the controls and shortcuts, I breezed through everything possible, which is a shame, because I reached 100% in the adventure mode, and saw everything in the local modes in only a weekend. The difficulty spike in the final boss race was a bit ridiculous, but overall, I enjoyed my time with it. I love finishing a game on a weekend. The other game I played is easily my front runner for Disappointment of the Year.
Oh, God.
A game we didn't review. We didn't review a lot of things this summer. Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Oh.
I love what Machine Games did with the prior Wolfensteins, and I'm a big fan of Arcane, but this was just bizarre. The game has 2 strong points, the dynamic between the main protagonists, Jess and Soph, and the polish in how each weapon feels unique. But everything feels just wrong. The leveling system does not work with this game, and it handicaps the feeling of exploring areas which, while having interesting designs, lose their appeal when you're constantly revisiting the few locations Youngblood has. Stealth feels completely pointless to do until near the end of the game when you're invested points from said leveling system into select abilities, and by then you're almost done. What story is there has potential in premise, but is horrible in its implementation. All caps, Hubert. Horrible. The literal first 3 settings of the story takes place in such quick succession, there's practically no development of any kind. The storytelling delivery is a fail and hard to get invested in. But the one thing that bothers me the most is the online aspects Youngblood has. Never have I needed to have a Bethesda account to play a prior Wolfenstein, Doom, or Dishonored, and I don't know why it's required here, but even more annoying is having to host a lobby even when playing alone. I use my PS4 as an offline single-player console, so in the event when I can't connect to a server, I can't even play. Wolfenstein Youngblood feels like too many voices were saying to do too many different things. Regardless, I now look forward to a hopefully fantastic fall, bring on Borderlands, and get me Gears. Yeah, bummer.
I really, really love the Wolfenstein franchise.
I didn't finish the second one, so
Old Blood.
I don't need to play Youngblood.
New Blood, New Colossus, 10 out of 10s. This is a weird take for them, but I had the privilege of playing this entire game with a buddy of mine who I don't get to play video games with that often. So it was amazing. I had such a good time.
Yeah.
Because I never get to game with him.
Yeah.
And because I get what's really cool is you get a friend pass. So it was like, yo man, you can play this entire game with me and you don't need to spend a penny.
Yeah.
I'll just give you this friend code so he could join my game whenever. So we went through the entire thing over like 2 weeks, and I had such a blast.
There should be a name for that, like a co-op game that's not good alone.
Yeah,
you know, but like, but with another person, forget about it. Because that's not always true. Like like sometimes it's like, well, I mean, any game with a friend is fun. It's like, not necessarily. Like, there are definitely bad games that like have good multiplayer functionality.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Bearded Scotsman 86. Hey, Brandon and Huber. At the start of the month, Amanda's a big fan of Outlanders. Lots of Scottish in my house. Miles gonna grow up
My
Scottish.
newest syndrome is actually about Youngblood.
Ooh.
Cheap plug.
Is it up?
It's up.
Oh, okay.
Go watch it.
All right. At the start of the month, I watched Creed 2. This led me to watching Creed again and the Rocky series. Because why not?
Yeah.
Been a while since I watched through the Rocky movies. All very enjoyable films. What's your favorite boxing movie?
Rocky 1. I like more than Raging Bull. I like Rocky 1. For sure. Rocky 1. Cinderella Man's really good too. Those are the big 3, I'd say. Do you count like Ip Man 2? No.
Oh, the first Ip Man.
Love it, man. It's not a boxing movie, though.
The first Ip Man
Love
is
it, man.
so good.
So good. Love them.
Like
4's coming out, Jones. The finale.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3s.
3's one. Yeah, I know.
There's like 1 and then 2.
Yeah, I know.
3.
I know.
I mean, watched it.
Yeah.
In a moment's notice. No regrets. But not great.
It's gonna be Rocky.
Yeah.
Bloodsport is not boxing.
Rocky 2 though. Ding Ding is Rocky 2, right? The end of Rocky 2. Ding. Especially like, I remember at the time, and this will always stay with me. Like Rocky 2, it was so weird. Like starting the film and being like, okay, and then like, it's literally like the moment Rocky 1 ended. Like just keeps on going. Totally. And so that was kind of fascinating. Like, And it definitely did feel like it warranted, because the end of Rocky 1's really great, but it's like so rushed, you know?
So
it's just
fast.
like, what happened? I don't even what he lost and what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and then
It's
credits.
over. Oh, hand
Like,
your hand
no.
over.
So like 2, like you need to, you know? It's like watch Good Place.
Dude, Jones.
Good Place. Watch Good
I
Place?
love Good Place, but that's a thing I want to talk about.
That's how every episode of Good Place ends. Where you're like, all right, I'll watch the next one, and then you're like,
Not right
30
now,
minutes
but
later.
like things are essential for the grand scheme of things. You know, like maybe not the best Rocky movie, like Rocky 2 or 3 or whatever, is not the best, but it's essential to the character.
Sure.
I think that's like an interesting thing.
I will say this: if we were in a room right now with every Rocky film that was ever made, and it's like, hey, let's watch a Rocky film. 4. No question in my mind. I would be like, 4.
Drago.
4 is
The best.
Yeah, 4 is pretty great.
4 is the
4 is a
best.
spectacle.
It is. Gotta go Drago.
Oof. Although Clubber Lang scarier than Drago. That's a hot take.
No.
Scarier guy. Scarier. More entertaining.
Dude, Drago,
Drago, for sure.
will kill you. He will kill you.
There's something. Oof. When Clubber goes after Adrian. Like,
Love Clubber Lang.
scary.
For sure.
He asked. I was like, whoa, tangent. I was like, well, no, not quite. He asked. And then I went through lots of MCU movies, and then on to some classic Jackie Chan movies. Operation Condor.
Dude.
Who Am I? And First Strike.
Dude.
Saw First Strike on my birthday.
So sick. So First Strike is technically Police Story 4 or 3.
Is it really?
Yeah. It gets confusing.
Because didn't they just recently make Police Story 4, which was not a comedy?
Yeah, maybe it's 3.
The last Police Story where he's like,
They have Police Story and
comes out of retirement,
Crime
like-
Story maybe?
whoa. I saw a film called Police Story 4.
Okay,
It
that
might
was
have been
it.
3, but it was definitely like
Yeah.
they referenced old stuff he had done. Some of the characters I recognized had come back from Police Story 1 and 2. Like
Super Cop.
Super Cop is Police Story.
Police Story 3 is Super Cop. 4 is First Strike. So Police Story 1, Police Story 2,
Then
Police Story 3,
this might have
Super
been
Cop.
like Police Story 8.
Yeah.
There's some movie where it was like a couple years ago. It was literally like 4 years ago.
I think it's Crime Story.
Maybe, okay.
And it's like
Which
a
is
more
another
serious...
franchise?
Is Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a newer, like, harder take.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad again, we got
Yeah.
Beard Scotsman's got a lot to sort through here. But yeah, Condor's to prove I've seen these films. First Strike's in the snow. First
Yeah.
Strike's up.
Yeah.
First
Snow.
Strike's like
Yep. And the ladder.
from Russia with Love.
The sick
Yeah.
ladder. Oh.
And Operation Condor is the wind machine at the end. Operation Condor is like Uncharted 3. You know, when they're like out in the desert. And then at the end, there's like the big wind machine, Jackie Chan flying around. Who Am I? I know I've seen, but I don't.
Who am I?
I want to say there's like a
Jones,
museum sequence.
I don't know about that, but there is a sick anime fight on a roof, 2-on-1. But before the 2-on-1, Jones, they each take a turn with Jackie. And so they do 1-on-1, 1-on-1, and then 2-on-1, dude. It's one of my all-time favorite fights.
You know how
So good.
You know how like
Oh.
like the Tim Tam slam. It's like you get the Tim Tam, and then you suck it through, and then at the end, bam, you got that like your little rituals where at the end you got like the whipped cream. Like
Yeah.
that's a Jackie Chan movie for me because like the whole time you're watching this movie, you know you're only making the end credits better. Like you're like that sequence at the end is going to be so dynamite, and it's always just great at the end when he like because I love. My 2 favorite things are something you saw him do in the movie perfectly, and then seeing him just botch it so hard.
Yeah.
Something so simple. Like I remember,
Yeah.
I saw this. I've said this before. Sorry.
Like jumping up a wall or something.
I said there was one. I think it was in First Strike. He does a classic, like a 3-column skip
Yeah.
over like a front fence. So it's like 4 feet. It's not that for. I mean, I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it, but for Jackie Chan, it's not that hard. And I remember seeing it with my friend Tadashi, and he goes boop boop boop, and Tadashi's like, he's so cool, and I'm like, I bet you that was like the 5th take. Sure enough, like in the end credits, you're like brutally like metal fence, like head first into concrete, like oh man.
So sick.
But so yeah, it's fun to see him botch something that he made look easy, and I love because he always gets like the toughest looking guys. These stunt dudes are so they've
they're
rehearsed
like,
it. They've rehearsed this so many times, and seeing them go for like I'm gonna get. Oh, you okay? Like that moment, the transition, like split second. It's like outtakes from a zombie film where you see the zombies like start laughing, like everybody in makeup. We will get through this question, I promise.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Rocky and then Jackie Chan. I love these
Jackie.
things. My village hosted a yearly horticultural show. I'm one of the members of the Horticultural Society, Curveball. so was involved in setting it up and helping manage it. People from the community submit vegetables and flowers they have grown. If you want to submit vegetables and flowers on the community showcase, you know, we have a P.O. box. I don't know what that's like.
Dude, shipping vegetables is like really shady, right?
So I'd be like, okay, so time to get to the radish section. So we have this from Megan Lennart. This is really, he's like, wow, Megan, it's bigger than one last month.
Carved pumpkin.
Don't send us vegetables.
Yeah,
Please
don't.
We will not accept those. Submit vegetables and flowers they've grown, photographs they've taken, and baking they have made, and it all gets judged with a small prize for the top 3 in each category. It's been great to get involved in the community since we moved here last year. Animal Crossing vibes. In gaming, I got all the trophies out of LEGO Marvel Avengers and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Fun LEGO game until the bloat hits for getting over 100 gold bricks out of the mini challenges in the Manhattan Hub. I now have the platinum out of all Uncharted games.
Nice.
I then moved on to Classic WoW. Really
Me
enjoying
too.
it. Played through during vanilla, but the Burning Crusade expansion released before I got to 60, so I never experienced any of the level 60 content. That's fine, that's right when I jumped in. I've tried a Paladin, Mage, and Priest. Currently sticking with my Priest. If there ever was a time to capitalize on the hype of WoW and get it into Hall of Greats, now would be perfect. Love and respect. Bearded Scotsman 86.
It's amazing.
You
WoW
say-
Classic right now is
You
amazing.
say that now, but then I bring WoW to Hall of Greats
It was your
in
argument,
2
Jones.
months.
That was it.
It's my
It
argument?
was your argument that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember having a bad argument. You remember specifically
Yeah.
my argument was flawed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Brad and I disagreed with a lot of your points.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I
if
need to
recall.
find the sweet spots.
Yeah. Brad and I like world PvP.
I was giving you salt and you wanted the sugar.
I really like dungeons and raids.
Right.
Couple key.
So you like world PvP? I mean, I got the.
Oh yeah.
I can spin you some yarns
Which
about
is
world
back
PvP.
now. WoW Classic, Jones. It's lawless out there. It's a war zone.
Stephen Beaumont. Hey, Jones and Huber. This month, my free time has been mostly dedicated to my baby daughter.
Oh.
She is 6 weeks old and I went back to work 2 weeks ago. I almost read she's 6 weeks old and went back to work 2 weeks ago. I've tried to prioritize sleep over gaming, so I haven't been able to dive headfirst into Fire Emblem as I've wanted. I gotta be honest, haven't always done that. There are times where I'm like, dude, for the sake of your child and your wife and your family,
Put it down.
and your friends, get some sleep.
Yeah.
Stop playing video games.
You did it or you didn't do it?
Cyclops isn't gonna level up himself, man. But there's something about you clean bottles, you feed him, you change the diaper,
You
he's
need your
fussy,
nighttime. You need your
put him
game time.
down, and then you know he's gonna start fussing again in 30 minutes, and so you're just like,
Why bother?
I'm gonna get a cup of coffee and play Ultimate Alliance for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Sue me.
I like it, Jones.
I'm doing it for him.
Yeah.
Staying alert. I realized all I could do while feeding my daughter throughout the night is hold a tablet. I do not have a tablet, but yeah. I picked up a fairly decent 10-inch tablet and finally took a step into Comixology's world of digital comics. It's funny how when Amanda sets up for pumping, and she just gets this setup and turns it on and switches this thing and then just Hearthstone. Every time.
Still
all right.
playing Hearthstone.
Every day. Without
Wow.
fail. Never stopped.
Wow.
Yep. There's been a couple expansions. She's like, meh. She wasn't interested and
Yeah.
just waited to buy them and didn't get them right away, but never stopped playing.
Shocking.
Yeah. I picked up a fairly decent 10-inch tablet and finally took a step into Comixology's world of digital comics. As a parent of 2 kids and a house that isn't getting any bigger, man, I love going digital. I've read some really choice comics over the last month, including Jason Aaron's Mighty Thor run, which will be adapted for Thor 4, Chip Zdarsky's Spectacular Spider-Man, I hear very good things about Spectacular, Donny Cates' Venom, Scott Snyder's The Batman Who Laughs, Tom Taylor's Deceased, I've heard good things about Deceased, and I'm now up to date on Attack on Titan Chapter 120, waited with bated breath for the conclusion of the series. The thing I've loved the most about Comixology is the specials. I have laid full retail plus Australian inflation for all my books and trades in the past, but now with constant specials, I can afford to read books I hadn't before, being a solely Batman and X-Men centric reader. Yes.
The best.
Yes.
Top tier.
I think of all comics, and probably is, horrible to say, but if I had a choice to catch up on Batman or X-Men, I'm actually more curious about what's been happening to X-Men the last decade or so. Anyway, that's all I got for this month. Just thought I would share with you my feeding and reading start. Love and respect. Nice, Steven. Good luck.
So
Good
ready
answer.
for the X-Men in the MCU. So ready for it, Jones.
I know. They got to reboot that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Just reboot it, right?
They're fully rebooting, coming in.
Great. Then I'm excited. Yeah. Then
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
curious.
Oh yeah.
It's a bummer they got to be creative about it and can't just do it clean. Can't just do it again, you know, everybody would be like, this, like, I've heard the story like 1,000 times. You know, it's like Spider-Man's origin. They got to, like, like, put him in a civil war. You know, they just do some sneaky thing, but...
I think they're going to sneakily
they've done
put
such a good
someone...
job. Alex AI. Hi, Huber and Jones. Let's talk The Boys. Very interesting show.
Boys, dude!
Which I really hoped would end with one season, but it did not. I don't know yet what to feel about the ending. Still Frenchie, best boy. Love and respect, Alex. Haven't seen it, haven't touched it. Looks great though.
No spoilers.
And I've heard nothing but good things.
It's great. It's Amazon's biggest show now.
Well,
Like,
that's
already.
nice because Rogan did Preacher, and it was heartwarming because you could tell Rogan like loved Preacher.
Yeah.
And it was like, yay, he gets to do it, great. And then
And
it's like
kinda-
season 4 ending now.
Yeah.
And you're like, yay, they actually finished it, great. Like I love that when someone's like whenever I see the final season, even if I have no interest and have not watched anything, I'm like, yes, that's so hard.
And on your own terms.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
That must be so awesome the first day for a writers meeting to come in with the group and be like, let's do it. Like we know we get to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
cool. Even if it's like we wanted one more season, but whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's so cool that they got to do that. But yeah, clearly,
Maisel-
even just from outside looking in, like Boys is getting way more traction than Preacher ever did.
Maisel has their most nominations, I believe, for an Amazon show, but The Boys is the most watched.
But they are pushing Maisel like nothing I have ever
Love
seen.
Maisel. Have you watched it?
Yeah, it's
You don't like Gilmore Girls, though, right?
I've never given Gilmore Girls a try.
Okay.
Maisel's an interesting. We'll talk about Maisel just for a second.
Love
But like, like Amazon pushes Maisel harder than Apple pushes iPhones, man. Like this Maisel. Like just like Maisel Day. What in the world?
For sure.
Like that. Like the city of Los Angeles like sponsored that. Like I was like, what? Like that's crazy. Maisel's good. Maisel is a little bit of. Maisel. Do you ever heard of the Name of the Wind? There's a guy. It's coming. There's a guy named Patrick Rothfuss. Lin-Manuel Miranda's involved, and this guy's been waiting. He's actually a big streamer. He's at a lot of gaming conventions. Does tabletop a lot. But he pulled a George R. R. Martin because he wrote this amazing series. Name of the Wind, and then The Wise Man's Fear, and then the third is like the Return of the King of the series, and he's just like streaming, playing a game, and you're like, finish the book, and so like everyone's freaking out on this guy.
Yeah.
But the books are amazing. They're huge.
Is it fantasy or what?
Yeah, it's a fantasy series. But the thing that always cracked me up, we read it for our book club. The thing that always cracked me up about the series was that like the main character's name is Kvothe, Kvothe, and the guy never does anything wrong. Like even when he fails, it's so spectacular of a failing.
Yeah.
And like Maisel's a little bit like that. I mean, like there's some scenes where I'm like, okay, you know, it's like I know you're setting up that this is bad, but I know she's gonna stick the landing, even if it's not this episode. And so it's just like that can get a little tiring. And I don't know what it is. It reminds me of Meet the Parents, where it's just like anytime like she's up on stage, it's like this is uncomfortable.
Definitely.
I hope she pulls it off, and I'm like I can't. It's like
Definitely.
it plays on my anxiety.
Dude,
Amanda
it gets her.
loves it, and she got my mom into it. Funny Maisel moment.
Nice.
My mom, we had a day we had to rush back to the hospital, and I was like, and I asked my mom. She's like, yeah, I'll come in. I'll take care of Milo. And she had been there like the day before and just discovered Maisel because she didn't have Amazon, and we had it. And so she like comes in the next day, and I'm just like, hey, so the bottles are set up and everything. She literally just like grabs Milo and like turns on Maisel. She's like,
Nice.
it's like, oh, okay,
Hell yeah.
you're set.
Jones, are you gonna see the Downton Abbey movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Down Abbey's a whole nother. Let's not.
Yes.
Yeah. We've tarried for too long,
going.
especially with a 3-sentence comment. But yeah, Downton Abbey is legit. Tyler Gardner. Hey Huber and Jones. This is my first showcase without Damiani leading the charge, and though the initial intention was to report my Breath of the Wild progress, unfortunately I haven't progressed further yet. With college starting up and actively planning events for the org I'm on the board of, my time has been reduced to near nothing. In fact, I'm at chapter 15 of Three Houses is the fact that I'm in chapter 15 of Three Houses is crazy enough with my time constraints. Still, couldn't forget about the showcase. While I don't have a ton to talk about, first I want to say Pokemon Silver. I'm so excited to watch this series weekly, as it's a stream I can catch, and it's providing wonderful inspiration for the EZA community Pokemon D&D I'm a part of. The what now? Okay. You can't be throwing stuff like that. I should know what that is, but sorry, the last couple months I've been in a cave. Shout out to those in chat. Huber's Huber of Love. No, Huber's Prison of Love also deserves some hype. Cannot wait to see what a wonderful time that show will be. In personal gaming, I'm slowly moving through Fire Emblem and awaiting the release of Catherine full body as I never played the original. Really though, that's about it. Just trying to survive sophomore year of college while also putting in the time to keep a student org having constantly interesting weekly programming. That's life though, I suppose. Looking forward to writing the next month, which will be October already, so hopefully I'll actually have some more video game progress to report. That's all for now. Cheers, Tyler Gardner at TMGM528. Final note, so excited for Disney Plus launching. The Mandalorian is going to be a must-watch, and I'm so excited for more Ewan as Obi-Wan eventually. That is, yeah, that's some good news. That's some hypeness right
Jones,
there.
which episode number will a young Luke Skywalker appear?
Um,
Don't think, answer.
0. They're smart. If they're smart. No, 0.
All right, what do you want to bet?
If I was producer on that
He's
show,
showing up. What do you want to bet?
That would be the Bible. None.
You will see a young Luke Skywalker.
If you will see a young Luke Skywalker, then 5 seconds. Then it's literally have it be like his ritual.
But you think he'll be
kind of
shown?
like when you Luke on the island in episode 9, where you do like a day in the life of Luke on this island, like that thing. You kind of see like what his life is like now. Or it'd be dope if he has to leave. Oh no, I got it. See, don't ask me. Don't ask me this. Don't ask me this stuff because now I'm thinking about this way too much because Ewan is so good in that role. But because he's got to go on an adventure. It can't be like.
I'll be back.
Did you ever see the Futurama episode about Leela's parents?
No.
Where they introduce Leela's parents. So Leela's parents are mutants, and she thought she was an alien, but they live in the sewer. And it's classic in Futurama. Futurama spoilers, but like it's classic in Futurama to like right at the end, you were like, how is that whole episode a farce? And then the last 2 minutes, I wept. Like what? Like they're just such good writing, and they had a really good way to like humanize the characters and make it really like wonderful. And so they show that even though they had to give up Leela, they followed her through her entire life. I'm getting misty just thinking about it. So there's this montage of Leela growing up, and she's like falling over, like crying, and like their like tentacle hand reaches in and grabs the pacifier and like gives it to her. You know, so like they were always there, like watching her from the shadows. And so like I don't want it to be that. I don't want like them pushing like Luke in the stroller through Mos Eisley, and like Obi-Wan's like in the background, like force people pushing away. Like no, he's got to go on an adventure. He's got to leave. Yeah. Like it's like I would. Again, if I had a team, I'd be like, let's get off Tatooine. Let's get away from Tatooine. Let's make you want those connections so when they do happen, it's like that satisfying. Batman Beyond. Let's just take off. So you're like, wait, what happened? What Joker and what? And it's like, we'll get there. But it'd be dope if he has to leave and you have a moment of him just like going and looking at the homestead from afar and being like,
that's gonna happen.
I gotta go. Like it sucks. I don't want to leave because I'm leaving this kid, but I think he's okay.
Yeah.
And then kind of looking around like, all right, I gotta go. And then and then you see the ship like leave Tatooine. It's like a big deal. And the end of the first episode is him leaving.
Okay. First step.
Luke's
there
the first step. I didn't think about it, but you're right.
What about Qui-Gon? What?
You're right. The whole. I mean, they're just really getting into this. Like very high percentile because that was the end of the prequels. It was like the last I think it was like the last thing Obi-Wan said was like, was Yoda being like, hey, I gotta teach you to do something. And if like that doesn't pay off, then what the hell is the point of that scene?
Yeah.
If he's literally just like, it'd be cool if they're super subtle about it.
Yeah.
If like 20 minutes in the episode, he just walks into his like homestead and like literally there's
Qui-Gon.
Ghost, Liam Neeson just sitting there and he's like, hey, and they're starting a conversation.
Dude, pumped. So pumped.
It could, like in the way Rogue One kinda did, it could legitimize the prequels a little bit. It could just make that transition just like a little bit.
I want Lucas to direct the
I'm
pilot.
showing like 7-year-old Milo the prequels, and he's like, Dad, these are bad. And I'm like, I know they are, but it'll get. See that guy? There's better stuff with him later. And the Clone Wars show, with his, that'll fix everything. Oh boy. Pokey Clyde. From Huber's recommendation, I watched all of *Halt and Catch Fire*. I have a few things to say.
Yes!
A. Bosworth is the best character, hands down.
Sick, okay.
B. I was not ready for the emotional gut punch the last 4 episodes gave me.
Oh.
If you want to cry and cry hard, watch the series. Now to recommend something for Huber, if you haven't already, check out Mindhunter.
I know. Okay, I've watched the vast majority of season 1. I gotta go into 2. I know.
Oh, cool. But so you're in. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Slow going.
I have not. I got Dark Crystal waiting for me on Netflix. Yeah. I got Mindhunter waiting for me on Netflix season 2.
I've had the finale of Jessica Jones lingering.
I watched season 1 and finished it and told Amanda, I'm like, that was a good show. She's like, I'll watch it. I'm like,
yeah. That's what I did with The Boys.
Let's do it again.
I went back with The Boys.
Twist my arm.
Dude, *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Because the guy.
Check it out.
The guy, I don't remember the guy. I think didn't he win an Emmy for that? The guy was like.
I think.
The guy who goes to see
or
in
nominated?
the prison, like who. If you see like original archive footage of the guy he's pretending to be, it's like, whoa.
Disturbing.
But and he's in Barry in 2 episodes.
That's right.
He's the security guy at the police station. Asbo Zapruder, good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome back. Jones and hello, Huber. First off, I want to thank Huber for the beautiful episode of Easy Update he recently did with Ian. These aren't easy conversations to have, but they are important, and I want to commend you for your courage in opening up like that. As for this month's submission, I thought I would write in about some television I've been watching recently. Number 1, Barry. Loving it so far, but also only a few episodes in. Obviously, I've heard good things, but the thing that convinced me was finding out Stephen Root is in it. I first became a fan of his about 25 years ago. You know Stephen Root, right?
Is he Barry's handler?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Fuchs? Oh,
Fuchs,
God,
yeah.
he's amazing. I just know him
but
from...
also Stapler and Office Space and...
Oh, my God, that's him! I always thought the Justified was the origin of him as like a judge. He's like a corrupt judge in Justified.
I mean, the origin of him? I mean, he goes...
For me, personally,
Root goes back,
I was like, oh, that's where I know him from.
Yeah.
But, dude, Office Space, I didn't even realize.
And if you're a Stephen Root fan, I mean, he is...
prolific.
You can tell, especially with Barry, it's like, ooh, what a meaty role for this guy.
Yeah.
Especially in season 2, man. Woohoo!
Yeah.
He is so good in season 2.
Fuchs.
I first became a fan of his about 25 years ago when he played my favorite character on my all-time favorite sitcom, Jimmy James, on News Radio. I'm always happy when he shows up in something, and lucky for me, he shows up in nearly everything. Number 2, Fosse Verdon. A bit more Fosse than Verdon, and quite a bit of cribbing from all that jazz. Michelle Williams is as good as everyone says.
Need Bossman to watch this.
I'm so hungry to see this. Like, Pippin's one of my favorite musicals of all time, and that was all. Pippin's such a funny story because it was Stephen Schwartz who wrote Little Mermaid and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And he wrote this musical, and they were like, yeah, this is fun. Because you imagine, like, the guy wrote Little Mermaid, wrote the musical about this guy Pippin who's discovering what he wants to do in life. And it's like, oh, he goes around, he asks people, and these actors come in and help him discover what he wants to do in life. And then, like, Bob Fosse comes in. He's like, yes, needs more sex. And Stephen Schwartz's like, wait, no, not that. He's like, move out of the way, Stephen. I'm just going to take this over. So, like, the guy who wrote all of Little Mermaid getting just, like, you know, hijacked by Bob Fosse and made one of my favorite musicals ever. Yeah, that show looks really, really tempting. Oh, God, so much to catch up on. Unfortunately, they had to cheat a bit with the performances, so hopefully this will motivate people to check out Merely Marvelous, a recent documentary about Verdon. Number 3, Good Omens. Damn it, another one I want to watch. I loved the cast, love the book. I've read the book and I love it. I was pretty confident that I was going to like it, so the fact that I did was basically a relief. Live-action Terry Pratchett adaptations have had a hard time capturing what people love about him, and this probably comes the closest so far. The 30 minutes cold open of episode 3 was particular delight. 4, Inside Number 9. This is an anthology series by Reese Shearsmith and Stephen Pemberton, and it's one of the most tightly written shows I've ever seen. The episodes tend to be a mix of horror and comedy. One episode is a silent movie starring Una Chaplin, no less, while another is a Shakespearean farce, and quite a few are horror. I'd love to see this take off as much as the next show. 5, Black Mirror. Okay, I'm not writing about Black Mirror itself. I need to catch up. But Charlie Brooker, God, I do too. Man. But Charlie Brooker, the show's creator, I just want to give him a shout out. He recently appeared on a radio documentary that reminded me he's the only person, I think, to go on the radio interview show Desert Island Discs and choose as one of his discs something from a video game. And the song he chose was the theme to RoboCop for Game Boy, which some people may recognize as one of Kyle's favorites.
Sick.
This post is going places.
Yeah.
Charlie's career actually started as a cartoonist and video game reviewer at PC Zone magazine. It's still a bit surreal to see where his career has taken him, but how nice that people actually know who I'm talking about now. Also see Olivia Colman. Horror fans may also want to check out his 6-episode series Dead Set about zombies invading the UK Big Brother house. Anyway, that's it for this month. Cheers all.
I watched The American Big Brother, and I love zombies, so I'm going to look into that. Thank you for that recommendation.
Sebastian, I'll try to write a little more about Mimeoprophecy and the next steps for it if I don't forget. I think Sebastian forgot.
Nice.
But that's fine. You can forget. You can write 2 sentences. You can write a whole paragraph. Keep it under the word count. Jax McLean. Hi, Huber and Jones. It's been a tough couple of months for me because after 8 months of treatment, my father passed away in early June. He had been diagnosed 2 years ago, and we knew it was coming. It all felt very unreal. Coincidentally, Ian and Huber went through their own hardships around the same time. The reason I bring this up is because Easy Allies has been a positive influence in my life. You guys make a conscious decision to focus on the things that are good, not just with games, but I feel also as an attitude towards life. There's no better example of this than Huber. I'm sure you're still in pain, as am I, but I get the sense that you really appreciate what you've been given, even during these hard times. Because so much of the online world is all about negativity, I want to thank you and the rest of the allies for sending out positive vibes. While I haven't done much gaming lately, listening to you guys talk about games has been a very nice distraction. I now realize that more than I ever have in my entire life.
No doubt. No doubt.
The value of a positive mindset is vastly underrated. Sorry if I got too personal. Felt like sharing this. Thank you. Love, respect from the Netherlands. Jax,
Respect.
there's
Love
no
you.
such thing as getting too personal in a community showcase.
Love you all.
As as I'm sure you know, grief is time. You know, it's just like an hourglass. But it's nice that much like the process that I'm going through, which is a very happy process, but a very exhausting one at the same time. It's such a bonus, and I say this because we have patrons watching, we have people supporting us, you know, the $10 level that are submitting to this. The idea to not only be to be given the time for you to take time off, for me to take time off, Ian to take time off, but even when we come back to talk about it, you know, and bring that back into our jobs, even continue to take time. Since I left paternity leave, I've done one group stream. You know, like I won't be at Man of Medan tonight because I'm working on another EZA project, and you know, it's just like, woof. And so just having that flexibility is being able to talk about it. The whole thing. It's just like a really nice. You all give us a wonderful outlet to deal with all of these issues and talk about them. And if we're helping, if us helping ourselves going through that process is also helping other people, just like win-win-win. Tim Strothman. Hey, Jones and Huber. For this month's community comment, I was torn between two possibilities. I could either send some pictures of my last month's vacation in Tuscany, Italy, or I could post my Hatake on Watch Dogs 2, which I've stored away specially for Huber's attendance in the showcase.
It's one of my favorite open world games of all time.
Here it comes.
Oh no!
Here comes the cold water. After long contemplation, I will opt for my thoughts on Watch Dogs 2 and save the pictures for a future showcase. Ha ha ha! I know that Huber praises Watch Dogs 2 on a regular basis. I'm not disagreeing with that fact, that it is an above-average game. The gameplay's fun. The game has a lot of creative ideas on how to use hacking and drones, and I ultimately enjoyed playing the game. That being said, I have 3 specific criticisms that prevent the game from being great. And I would like Huber's opinion on them.
Let's do it.
Number 1, the game indirectly spoils a minor plot twist in its side mission structure. In every side mission, you have in-game chat or banter between the members of your hacking crew. However, one member never participates in those chats. This is due to the fact that he/she, spoiler alert, dies throughout a story mission. Since side missions can be played at every point in time, it can be the case that you play such a mission before or after the death. So in order to accommodate for this, the developer simply gave that character no dialogue without an explanation, which seems like the easiest but also the most obvious solution.
I think we're buckling.
We're buckling.
Buckling.
Small buckles. The frames
okay?
drop.
Why was people buckling?
Still dropping frames.
Small dropped, yeah. A couple dropped.
Alright.
No longer dropping. Oh, more dropped.
Little buckles, belt buckles.
Some, should we?
Bucklets. Alright, okay. Oh, we dropped a little bit more frames right there.
Yeah, we're at 960.
That new internet is coming.
I know, it's coming, chat.
Let us know. Thank you for keeping an eye on chat.
Okay. So we're on the first one, the character...
So yeah.
I must have played it in the correct order accidentally because I never picked up on that.
But I loved getting, if you haven't seen our spoiler mode for God of War, I loved Raz and Corey because I was like, I saw that gameplay thing and that spoiled it for me. And he was like, oh, you're right. I never, didn't think about that because it was like, the story. This is the Community Showcase Part 2. We dropped internet, but we're back. Let me close this door.
We are back.
We were talking about Watch Dogs 2.
Watch Dogs.
Side missions, spoiling a character because they're not included because they die later.
I got lucky that I did it in the proper order accidentally, so that I missed that. That issue flew right over my head.
But yeah, we left during a Cory Barlog story. I was just saying, the God of War tried to convince you that something bad was about to happen, but it involved a character that would perform things on cues that were available in the game still. And I was like, well, that wouldn't be there if that character was not accessible to me anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much stuff floating around, even from like Santa Monica themselves.
Yeah. About
God of War. It's like, can I say specifics? But all right.
So wait, the non-lethal thing too, right? With Watch Dogs.
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal. Marcus is a non-lethal character. Why would you ever use real guns?
Apparently.
And they made it so cool because you could use the non-lethal bullets So again, that whole thing disconnected from me because I would never even think about killing people.
And Watch Dogs 3, they were definitely talking about non-lethal. They were
Yeah.
pushing that big time.
Marcus is a good man. He's not gonna go out on a killing spree. So I went non-lethal there.
Number 3, lastly, I'm not a huge fan of how hacking is portrayed in the game. And I'm not talking about technical, but the ethical aspects of hacking. The game sells hacking as a kind of cool hobby, which you can employ to take personal revenge and do good for society by hacking evil companies. I'm aware that Ubisoft is selling a fictional story in a fictional universe, so ultimately, it's hard to blame them for their way of storytelling. Nevertheless, I would have preferred a much more nuanced approach, which also talks about the criminal aspects, white hat hackers that try to improve the security of systems by exploring security weaknesses, shout out to sneakers, and especially the ethical gray area in which hackers bend the legality of their actions as far as possible in order to get the jobs done. Thanks for reading my comment. Love and respect, Tim. That's disappointing
Dude, I
because
think it goes over it really well.
I would have thought that was like what Watch Dogs 2 is
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah.
It's like maybe they didn't. Yeah, maybe they didn't.
Yeah, because like,
I mean, yeah.
because the main villains, CTOS and Bloom, are in complete control. So the only way to really fight back, other than like violently,
Yeah.
is to hack,
Yeah.
is to lean into being like vigilante style.
And it's tough because it is commenting about hacking, but it's hacking in their world, which is not
their
our world.
Exactly. Yep.
And so it's like, how does their conversations about hacking affect how hacking is perceived in our world? Well, it's not, because it's a slippery slope.
Definitely.
I definitely get the protagonist thing though, and just general tone, because there are like Grand Theft Auto games and stuff
Yeah.
where I've been like, I'm just not really, not really feeling it. Vice City Stories especially, I was like, this protagonist sucks.
Dude, Watch Dogs 2, Marcus,
On
is
PSP, like-
one of my favorite characters in a long time.
I mean, it's
Love
there in my backlog.
Dude,
Uh,
Marcus.
Also in my backlog now, officially. It's so funny when Netflix drops like a series because your backlog like
Yeah.
like in one day. Now there's 8
20
hours of
hours?
it.
Yeah. Totally.
Greg Ferry, Brandon, will your well-known love of the puppeterial arts, with your well-known love of the puppeterial arts, puppetrical. I wonder if it's puppetrical. Will there be a Dark Crystal Age of Resistance spoiler mode, or any interest in any kind of Dark Crystal discussion? Of course. I don't know. Like Amanda and I, with dealing with Milo, got through Stranger Things 3 on a very low volume with the subtitles on.
Nice.
You know, with him kind of arching his head back, trying to look at the TV. And you're
Nice.
like, no.
No,
Like,
a little too spooky.
I mean, just staring at
Yeah.
at 4K if you're
Yeah.
2 weeks old, you know,
Yeah.
so, or technically. So yeah, it might be a bit before I can make it through that. I don't know if it will still be relevant by the time I get through that. But yeah, I'm super into it. I'm wondering if, I don't know. I feel like challenged in a weird way with this thing, because it's like Dark Crystal's something that was so long ago,
So
and something that
long
like
ago.
there's been no other. Like, there's no comic books, there's no, maybe if there is, like, I never really got into it, so, like, I'm rusty on that lore.
Me too. So I
And it's-
remember nothing.
Even if I went back and watched Dark Crystal, I'd still kind of be rusty, because,
Yeah.
like, you really have to read between the lines of that movie. There's a lot going on in there. There's a lot of lore that's just kind of in it.
Totally.
You know, just
I saw it
like a
one
really
time.
good, dense coffee. You're like, ooh, you know, it's like you don't want to sip it super fast. And I feel like I always have. And like, so I don't know. I have weird kind of anxiety about enjoying Dark Crystal. Also, if yeah, I love. Great moment in Pulp Fiction is they have this whole stupid scene. Tarantino's such a horrible actor. There's a whole dumb scene about coffee. I know my coffee's good.
Oh,
Because
it's one of my
she
all-time
buys- She
favorites.
buys the, I buy the good shit.
Yeah.
And it like takes a whole long scene, and
the
then
best.
the perfect amount of delay between that scene and Harvey Keitel showing up, and he's like, okay, and he gets the coffee, and he's like,
It's good.
anyway, you know, and it's like perfect. You know, it's like, because you know it's good. He said it's good.
Yep.
You know Keitel's a classy guy, and he
Yeah.
can tell, that's better coffee than I was expecting.
So good.
Great moment. But yeah, I'm nervous about some things. You want to be good, like some things need to be excellent,
Yeah.
or forget it.
Totally.
And Dark Crystal's one of those things for me. It's like, oh god, if
that's
it's
scary,
not,
Jones.
you know what I mean?
That's
If it's
stakes.
not like, you know, and it's a show, so like, what if there's some episodes that just suck? It's like, I'm scared.
I've heard
But I hear
good
good things. Yeah, we've talked a lot about a lot of the things we hear good things about.
Hear good things?
You add them all up, it's about 200 hours of viewing. Zachary Walton, hey Jones and Huber, Patreon ate my comment last month. At that time, I was talking about how I just learned how I'd be losing my job in a month. Now it's a month later, and I've lost my job. But
Sorry.
seriously, it always sucks to lose your job, especially one that I've been in for the past 5 years. The good thing is that this isn't the first time that I've lost a job. I was unemployed for a year back in 2014. Before I got the job, I just lost back in 2015. The nice thing is that I've grown as a person and I'm a little more responsible. When I lost my first job, I used my unemployment as just sort of an extended break where I goofed off and played video games all day. This time, I've got a plan in place, and it still involves playing video games all day. My roommate and I have been streaming on the weekends for the past year, and we're now ready to start streaming throughout the week. It's exciting and scary, but the audience we have had so far has been super supportive and fun. I have high hopes that we'll be able to attract even more people with our new schedule. I look forward to watching all of your streams, and when I'm not doing the same. Love and respect. P.S. If you ever find yourself losing your job and are given a heads up, complain about it. HR said we wouldn't be getting severance pay, but then we raised a stink about how we've been working there for 5 years. 3 weeks later, they came in saying we're getting severance. So yeah,
Nice.
being a pain in the ass works.
It honestly does in the corporate world. It really does. When I was
it's a fire sale. Everything must go.
When I was
grab all the free towels. Get out of
working
it.
my way up at restaurants, like people would come in and just complain and then move above me. Like I would be a back waiter, which is like bring the food to the table. Been working there for a year. People would come in, be like, I want to be a server. What the hell? What the hell? All right, fine.
I think enough time
move right ahead.
I think enough time has passed. I'm gonna drop a little behind the scenes lore about the Defy Media closing. No, I'm sorry. Viacom to Defy Media. So this was fascinating because I got lied to by Viacom and Defy Media. I still don't know who was lying. But they both were, maybe not, like clearly when one person's like, that's blue, and someone else is like, that's red. It's like, one of you is lying.
Yeah.
But I really took the move from Viacom to Defy Media as a chance to like maybe move on from game trailers. They've been around for a really long time. It's kind of like the same thing we were all thinking before we started Easy Allies. Like, is this the time to do this again, or is this the time to move on, try another career? And I was like, I don't know, guys. I've been doing this for a really long time. I'm scared to move to this new company. And I was like, this might be a time to move on. And one of the big things for severance was for them to be like, oh no, okay, we will let you go, but we will also give you severance, is if we are terminating your position. So if you're moving to Defy Media and you have a totally different job.
I remember this.
Like, we're terminating your position. And I was creative director, and then I moved on and eventually became editor-in-chief. So I was like, you are terminating my creative director position. That doesn't exist at Defy Media. I can't do that anymore. I'm going to be in a totally new job. And it doesn't mean I don't want to do it. I just don't know what's going on there. And so, Viacom was like, yeah, it's all Defy Media, Defy Media is like, hey, these are the terms, and like, there's nothing we can do. I was like, all right. And then I went over and talked to Defy Media, and they were like, yeah, Viacom's being really tough about all this. And I was like, wait a minute. And it was fascinating. I remember I had one meeting with the lady from Viacom, who I'm sure is a very nice person, but she was cutthroat. She's like a pirate, man.
Oh yeah.
It was I felt like I was like I felt like I was in the down below, near the gunpowder, tied up to a post, and she had like the cutlass. So I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm unprepared. I did not walk into this room prepared. But I basically told her, I was like, you're terminating my position. And she's like, we don't see it that way. I'm like, but you are. Like, you defined it right here, and that's what you're doing. And she's just like, she basically looked at me being like, what do we do now? And it was clear, like, court. Like, I clearly, like, I make a stink, But, like, it wasn't a stink, this kind of a stink. It was, like, a legal stink. And I'm just like, yeah, fine.
Fine,
so, like, again, like, my memories at Defy Media weren't like, oh, well, I guess I'll do this. It was just like, I just want all the information. And, like, both parties were clearly like, you're screwed, bro.
So, wait.
Damn it.
Not shots or shade. Did Defy go out of business?
Oh, yeah.
They're out of business, right?
Yes. Defy Media is no longer.
Is no longer thing.
Which is funny because I think it still says break on the building. So they never even got to the point where they put Defy Media on the building. It just says break still.
Got it.
Which also isn't a thing anymore. But, so yeah. It's, sometimes you gotta get stinky. But it's the time to do it because, those people don't owe you a damn thing.
Damn.
Small Leviathan, welcome back, Jones. It's good to have you back. Nothing against Damiani, of course. He's just not the person I've been hearing in reviews since I was like 11. Shots fired. Small Leviathan, I'm going to save that one. I'm going to write that on an index card. That's going to be on my business cards. I'm just the person you've probably been hearing since you were 11. Of course, I'm delighted to see you here as well, Huber. I'm sure your presence will make the showcase absolutely exuberant.
I hope so.
Atrocious puns aside, the only new games I've played in the last couple months that I haven't talked about extensively, Splatoon, Warframe, and such, are just a couple of co-op games. So I just want to do a quick shout out to my longtime best friend Sable, aka Blueberry Bat, who I've been playing both of these games with. Stay awesome, buddy. You don't even know how important you are to me. The first of the two games, which we've been playing, is Borderlands 2. We were just talking about co-op stuff.
Nice.
That's, yeah. It's like, Borderlands is kind of fun. I mean, when you're playing with 3 other people,
is Borderlands
you're done.
4 players? Or 3 players?
They've all been 4 players.
4, right? It's 4, not 3?
I believe so, yeah.
Confirm, chat?
I thought Borderlands. I thought four characters in Borderlands was like the thing.
4 or 3?
But maybe, yeah, 4 pieces, CDJ.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm tripping.
A game that I had not played before prior to this year. I've mostly been enjoying my time with it, though the gunplay feels kind of loose and sloppy in 2019, and the humor is extremely hit and miss. I've been playing as Krieg, one of the DLC characters, because he's the only one that really stood out to me aesthetically, and he's a blast because why shoot at people when you can just pull out a pointy stick and run at them while shooting about blood and pain and meat. Good times. Also awesome for a game like Borderlands 2 to be done with all its DLC of everything, and now you jump in, you know.
Yeah.
And the funny thing of characters, that you're like, oh boy, I can you know, look at all these people I can pick from.
True.
I think about that because
I used Brick in the first game.
I was telling Huber, I'm just like hardcore addicted to Ultimate Alliance right now. All the crystal nonsense and everything, I can't stop. And it's just a great, you know, turn off your brain, and you know, just 5 in the morning, like
totally.
But I imagine there's going to be some $60 Game of the Year edition of that with everything, with all the characters and all of the stuff after it's all done, and like on Switch, $60 with all of that extra stuff. Like that'll be a decent purchase whenever that happens. The second game we've been playing together is Risk of Rain 2. Nice. I usually don't buy into early access titles because I don't want to get burnt down on them before they're finished, but Sable bought it for me as a gift. It's a great game, but suffers from a lot of fundamental balance problems right now, which shouldn't be unexpected of a game still in early development. My biggest issue with the game right now is the so-called Malachites. Elite versions of enemies and bosses that start appearing late in runs with a ton of extra health, extra damage, and a passive ability to completely block healing if they hurt you. My problem with Malachites is that they're too polarizing. If you've been lucky, a couple of Malachites can put a complete stop to your turn, if you've been unlucky. But if you've had good loot, then they're a pushover. Hopefully they'll resolve that in the next update that's coming this September. Also, real quick, Risk of Rain 2 is one of the prettiest 3D games I've ever seen. It doesn't exactly push any technical boundaries, but the colorful, blotchy textures make the game look almost like a moving painting, and I think that's fantastic. Even though I think you should always wait until an early access title is out, I will say that Risk of Rain 2 is a great purchase as it is if you're interested. I've still got some words left, so a quick album recommendation. Go listen to Traversa by Geotic, or Geotic. It's a breezy and easygoing yet delightfully dense electronic album, and my personal album of 2019. Love and respect, Small Leviathan. This is not a hot take. This is not a blistering headline. But like, next gen visuals for me are just kind of like, I'm over it.
Lighting,
you know, it's like, lighting, but like, I'm not saying I'm not excited. Let me put it this way. If you put a lot of work into it, wow. You know, like like Last of Us Part 2, I'm going to be playing through just like, you know, it's like when it happens, it's amazing. It's pretty much drizzled completely out of my expectations. You know, it's like if I'm like trying on a new game, like Ultimate Alliance is so proof of that. Like this is not a powerhouse. This is not a performer. You all 4 characters, you know, boom, hit their abilities. You are gonna get slowdown every single time. Yeah, there's like a weird charm of it for me, and like it's just some games just don't need it. You know, and it's interesting to see like Minecraft going so strong.
Dude, World of Warcraft
like,
still looks good.
Vanilla blowing up and making headlines. It's like I think if you could do Fortnite, you know, just like. Never really looking that great. Looks interesting, looks stylish, looks fun, but there's just so many of my favorite experiences from this gen had nothing to do with performance. Or
for me, I feel like next gen will be all about the little details that will add up into making games even better.
I'm looking forward to it, and I do expect it. Spider-Man 2, of course, like that's a game I'm looking forward to looking great. Yeah, on PlayStation 5, but like, I just don't. If it had weird issues or like people were really looking at the fine like, you know, web textures, it's like, totally. You know, that's not gonna, as a reviewer, you know. Interesting take. Jordan Kirk. Hey Jones, hey Huber. Not too huge a gaming update for me this month. Everyone's chilling in August. Yeah. Everyone just took August off. Yeah. You know, a lot of people are like, did play a lot of games.
I barely played.
Not too huge a gaming update for me this month, as I've been putting a little more time into playing billiards.
Billiards. Like real life billiards?
Billiards. Not a capital B. Lowercase b, general
Like Paul
Just
Newman billiards?
Going over to my friend Frank's house and hanging out in the basement.
Nice.
The smoky basement with a case of Coors.
Excellent.
Playing some billiards.
Cool.
I joined an amateur league, and it's been fun making connections and improving my game. Dude, Easy Allies 20-hour charity billiards tournament. Live.
I'm terrible.
I
am absolutely terrible at billiards.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm way better at bowling than billiards. But
I used to be good at darts. Not anymore, though.
Our team, called Team Dangerous, even managed to come out on top for our summer 9-ball game, so we'll be completing in a larger area tournament in a few weeks. That's not to say there isn't a gaming-esque update at all. In my downtime, I've been revisiting one of my favorite games of 2017. Phantom Thieves had again stolen my heart a la Persona 5. The story is still impactful, the greater social commentary is still as relevant as it will ever be. The music is still just as catchy at the 150-hour mark as it was at the 15-minute mark. Hubert, I think I did 20-something, 22 hours. I think the music's my favorite thing for Persona 5. At the end of the day,
it's
character, story, world, HUD, abilities, combat, even the style, the colors, that music
so
is
good.
I don't think there was a moment I didn't like the music in that game. I was always just like,
there are some. There's always one Game of the Year award we do that stays with me forever because I'm sad about it. When we gave Nier Automata Best Music over Persona 5, Nier probably has amazing music.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well-deserved, but for sure well-deserved, but it's still...
tough.
Still hurt.
It's tough when you play a game that seems to cinch it, and then something comes along where you're like, oh, that game is a curveball.
Still hurt.
That midpoint of the year where we're like, this has to win that award. And then,
Love
no,
Persona
actually...
soundtrack.
Tough. Poor Persona 5. Nothing but the shaft from Easy Allies Persona 5. Bada bing. And Merciless difficulty has proven a solid challenge. The big challenge in Merciless is strategy is much more vital. If an enemy gets a technical hit or critical, it's pretty guaranteed to be a KO. Being the second time through has allowed me to be a little more playfully critical. I could easily making drinking game out of Ryuji lines. For real? Is said in legitimately voiced overlines around 50 times. Shitty Adults is probably right up there as well. Here's hoping my playthrough continues nicely and I can finish some of the secondary endgame content. I guess that'll do for this month. Good games are a-coming, including Final Fantasy VIII Remastered today.
Yeah.
Not the only time that was mentioned. I'm actually going to put that at the end. I've taken to writing notes, because I write the description, when like the showcase is over, and I'm like, I want to remember stuff that people talked about. Lots of FF8 love.
FF8 Remastered.
Tempted.
No time.
Won't do it.
Won't even touch it.
Won't touch it. Tempted, though.
Won't even touch it.
We'll
avoid highlighting it on the PlayStation Store. I'm going to go around it when I'm scrolling down. Going around.
Just because it's time commitment.
Yeah.
Do you know the story? Do you know the story of 8?
No.
Weird. Weirdest, not in a bad way, but like weird. Beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2 weird. Like, they throw the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2 at you like 60% through 8. You're like, imagine being 60% through 8 and you're just like, who the hell is all that? What?
Cool.
Where am I? What? Like, the game's like, I don't know. Why don't you play for 10 more hours? You're like, what the hell is going on? Like, but it's great. Like when you actually realize like what's happening. It's pretty cool.
Ooh.
And it's fun. That's what I want from Death Stranding. I want you to be 50 hours into Death Stranding and be like,
please.
What is going on?
I hope Death Stranding's awesome.
Credits on Death Stranding. What? Kyle Lee. Just totally random update. But I had an emotional thing happen a couple weeks ago. Galaxy of Heroes, Guild Exodus. I always thought we had a couple of heavy hitters, man. I don't know how we got these people, but we had like 5 or 6 people in our guild that were way better than anyone else in the guild.
Yeah.
I still have some diehard Easy Allies fans in my guild that are going to be around forever, I think. That are, I mean, like we will do a raid, and I'll literally, like, for the entirety of the raid, I'll get like 6 million damage, and some people get like 48. And I'm just like, I don't know what you're doing, dude. I don't know how much money you spent on this game, or what team members you're bringing in, or what you're doing. I don't have enough time to put that much time into the game.
Gap, Jones.
But like basically like Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan, all these guys just left. And they were all really nice about it. They were like, hey, this other guild propositioned all of us. We're just gonna go.
Proposition.
And I was like,
you got poached.
Yeah, and I know how it is. I know how it is.
Oh my god.
And it was funny because like there was like a 4-person exodus, boom, 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 and you could see it in chat. Like blah blah blah's left the guild, blah blah blah's left the guild, blah blah blah's left the guild, and then like 2 days later, like 3 or 4 other people left, and I think they got poached. But it's fun because it's like we dropped performance-wise, but it's kind of fun because it's like the Bad News Bears now, because it's everyone that's left.
Nice.
And so we got like a couple MVPs, but they're mostly kind of carrying the rest of us, but they don't care because they're like, I don't play this.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this because like I gotta get, Jedi Knight Revan. And you're like, no, I'm just playing this because it's fun.
That's funny.
But I've never had that. I've never been a guild leader and had like heavy hitters from a guild like take off. But
Jeez.
I feel lucky to have had them for as long as I had. But it's funny, mobile game guild drama.
That's so funny, Jones.
Kyle Lee. I don't think that's relevant enough for Cup of Jones, but it is relevant enough for the community showcase. Absolutely. Kyle Lee, welcome back, Jones and Huber. This has been the showcase I've been waiting for. Why? Because I finally get to talk about the game that was already my goatee, purely off the strength of a certain 12-hour stream by Michael Huber and Kyle Bosman. That's right, Resident. Do you know where this is going? Evil 2 Remake. While I watched the stream and still alive and loved it, I just keep coming back to rewatch it. RE2 captured my mind, and it still hasn't really let go. So it was after I had watched both the original stream and the one with Damiani multiple times that I knew I had to play it. A little context. In 4th grade, I went over to a friend's house before school, and he showed up, and he showed a group of us the original RE2. The vibes were incredible, but I just accepted that I'd never be able to play it. See, for stories like these, I want to know when. Did he start a new playthrough, or did he just jump in?
I need full details.
I
need to know what store he went to. I need to know how he bought it. I need to know the time of day he saw it.
What was the first room you saw?
What was the first room?
I was always a kid that got
scared.
I always got a kid that got scared easily, so horror games were just off the table. Seriously, I returned Dead Space after playing for 10 minutes.
Terrifying intro.
Because I couldn't handle it. Anyways, when I was 14, I finally tried to play RE2. I never got past the first screen. Just wasn't my type of game, I figured. Flash forward to game trailers, where Huber was my driver through the wonderful world of shady corporations and mutated monsters. Watching those streams, hearing him talk about the series with so much excitement, it made me a fan by proxy. For a while, I was content to stay passive in my enjoyment of Resident Evil, but all that changed with that first trailer for RE2 Remake. I could feel it breaking through. The RCPD building is always stuck in my mind as one of the most truly iconic video game locations. All it took was one picture, and you could immediately pinpoint where that was on the map. And here's Capcom, simultaneously bringing those iconic locations to life in HD, but it was also mixing things up to make it fresh, but true to the original spirit. I have never seen this level of care poured into a project like this. It's tough.
For a remake?
Tough drawing a comparison. Even GameCube. That was the
Remake 1 is different because it is Mikami, so it kind of feels like, I'm going to go back and tweak and add, whereas this is like, no, let's go back and really hone in.
Yeah.
It's not like one singular person, it's like the team,
When I finally got brave enough to play it on my own, I played unassisted. I was not going to let difficulty be the thing that stopped me. After 8.5 hours, I finally finished my first run, Claire A. Then I moved on to Leon B, and a few weeks later, I made my first attempt at a normal run and an A rank, also with Claire. When it became clear I wasn't going to hit the time limit and I was running low on ammo, I switched back to assisted to finish it out. So here I am, having beaten RE2 3 times, and I can now genuinely say it is my goatee for 2019. Or I could. But I'm 2 hours into Control, and we'll see what happens.
Ooh.
Thank you both for me getting into Resident Evil. Love and respect, Goldilocks.
I am extremely excited about this year's goatee.
I'm not.
I think it's...
Because it means I probably got to beat Sekiro.
It's really... there's a lot of... Whoever wins, we win. Like, there's so many great games.
Like December, it's like, let's take time off. Yeah. We'll just kick back, spend time with our families, and play all the games. December's going to be me with Sekiro, like... Just like, hey, Dad, you want to... Like, I can't talk now, Milo.
Jones, good luck.
Leave me alone. Trying to be...
Good luck, dude.
That's my Christmas. Thanks, allies. Transitioning beautifully into more Control talk. Joseph Caruso. Hi, Huber and Jones. I haven't had much time to play video games recently. What is up with August? The end of the summer, everybody just gets
straight up
shackled.
Yeah.
Been working on installing a patio in my backyard for the past few weeks, and I finally finished it yesterday.
Sick.
Today being Labor Day. To quote Strongbad, "Did you ever try to dig a hole? It's not all wipes and montages like in the movies. It takes forever." Boy, it's been a long time since I heard Strongbad. I hope that wasn't too bad. But I've played a little bit of Control on my PC, and let me tell you about the boring beauty of ray tracing. The thing about enabling and disabling ray tracing in a side-by-side comparison is that it's usually not an obvious improvement. It just looks different at a glance. However, ray tracing basically means light and shadow and reflection function much closer to how they actually work in real life. So while I'm not constantly gawking at the graphics and Control, I am less distracted by all the visual artifacts that usually appear in video games that aim towards graphical realism. ray tracing essentially makes games look normal. And you don't realize how wrong's game look with it until you see a good example of objects in a dark room that are somehow illuminated in a uniform fashion by sources of light that don't exist. Control, with fully enabled ray tracing, looks correct. However, watching the actual real-time reflections of a brushed metal sink can be truly jaw-dropping at times. You can even see the room and your character reflected in real time on a mug or tiny monitor. The future of gaming graphics is looking beautifully normal, but be warned that turning off ray tracing and Control doubles my computer's performance, so it's a costly feature if you're concerned with frame rates, Joe.
That's the thing, Jones, is like you were to go back to what you were saying about like, oh, next gen, not that really big of a deal. It's like
I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm just saying it's not. Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, you're not poo-pooing it, but at the same time, like
poo-poo.
I feel like so much of next gen and ray tracing specifically is you gotta dive in, and it's subtle. It's so subtle. It's not this drastic like next gen boom in your face. It's next gen settle in.
Yeah.
Let it immerse you.
Yeah. That's why I like. That's the thing about. I hate these games. I hate games. The thing that sucks about GOTYs, it will always marry games. Last of Us and GTA 5 will always be like the odd couple.
It'll always be there. Will
Witcher and Bloodborne will always be
Yeah.
Hearthstone versus the entirety of that year.
Bad year. It's a bad year. 2014.
It's a bad year, Ripley. Dark Souls 2 is the best. It was a bad year. It's interesting. God, boy, I'll have one thought and then it's gone. But specifically, what game were we just talking about?
Ray tracing, Control.
Oh, we're just talking about visuals, like seeing
Lines.
something. Oh, God of War versus Red Dead. Same situation, because they were, like I enjoyed both of those games. I just think Red Dead, in my mind, edged out a little bit. And one of the reasons is like when you're playing God of War, and it's like, oh, I just got through a tough fight, and then you're like climbing up something, and you're like, here we go. You're like, there it is at the top, and you climb, and you like get to the top, and it's like, what a surprise! It's a beautiful view, and you like get up there, like, wow, that looks amazing. And a cutscene, and the characters are talking, and you're like, okay, but you kind of see it coming, like there's like a linearity to the introduction of it, where it's like Red Dead, man. Like I would be like following Micah and just be like, okay, cool. I'm like, oh, neat. Oh my god, like these views are just out of nowhere. They're like sneak up behind me. I'm like, whoa, and Micah's like, come on, man. I'm like, yeah, hold on, dude. Like. Wow!
Let me look over here.
And like I wasn't looking at an area that like I hadn't seen before. It's like, no, I've been there. I just haven't been up here before. And like, wow, pretty game. Or like, wow, look at the clouds. Like,
it's jolly.
Woo!
Tell Micah to shut it.
Yeah. Shut up, Micah. Micah. Corey Jackson. Greeting Jones and Huber. GT Online. One of these days, or Red Dead Online. One of these days I will be back. We were just talking about that.
Yep.
Big changes.
Yeah. Poker made me never want to play again.
Corey Jackson. Respect.
Trash.
Greeting Jones and Huber. Happy September, which on the East Coast, we deal with Dorian and hope everyone stays safe through it. Yes, my father-in-law.
Seriously.
Bracing for Dorian right now. With the many games coming out this month, it's almost too much to play. Link's Awakening, Invader Zim movie on Netflix, more Netflix. It's amazing, worth watching. Haven't started the Dark Crystal series, but I'm planning to soon. I managed to play quite a few games this month. You Invader Zim fan?
Bits and pieces here.
Richard Horvitz, the guy who does Invader Zim, and who also does the bad guy from Skylanders. It's like you can clearly tell like that's the same guy. What's fun about Horvitz is like that's him. Like you meet him and he's like, hi, how you doing? Like he can't turn that off. So it's like neat. I have so much respect for those voice actors that can like do a thing that you're like, I can't even do a bad impersonation of that. Yeah. Like that's so hardcore. It's like Eddie Van Halen. You're like, I can't do that. Like Chris Cornell singing. Can't do it. Worth watching. I haven't started the Dark Crystal series, but I'm planning to soon. I managed to play quite a few games this month. Yeah.
The one and only.
Corey Jackson picking up for everybody else. Control. Love the world, but the frame rate's buckling on my Pro, and the boring combat and bad writing of the main character killed some of the world. Killed some of the joy from it, but still had a good time. Hot take. Leaving it at that, too.
Hot take.
Plop.
Whoa!
Dropping that there. I finished both Grandia games in the Grandia collection. I have to say, loved Grandia 1, and it was worth it to see it through to the end. Still playing WoW 8.2, getting Huber back. And the guild just finished the raid and beat Ashara in a really cool fight dealing with 3 seals. And the WoW spoilers coming up. Like, anybody cares? I don't know. They might. Yeah. Give us 90 seconds. Spoilers. I'll keep my hand up. in a really cool fight dealing with the 3 seals and keeping the power on the Titan console, keeping the old Znoth locked away. Minor spoilers for the end, but you beat her, and as she drops dead, the device she was using to siphon Azerite energy surges through the console, breaks the seal on Znoth, and the chains break as a giant red eye appears in the deep as reddish shadow tentacles crawl up and grab her and bring her back. In an expression of pure horror, she's dragged away, and a deep evil voice says, "All eyes shall be open." And it ends with the first time since the Titans sealed them. An old god is free to corrupt the world again. I have to give it to the WoW team. They keep the story stuff under lock and key.
Oh, so that was about for Azeroth spoilers.
That's like current. That's like the current WoW.
Got it.
Not like.
Not classic.
See, there are 2 versions of WoW.
Yes, there's one that's classic.
In concurrently,
yeah.
you see. One looks bad. Okay. I'm sure we'll see an expansion announcement at BlizzCon. Never keep your hopes up for BlizzCon ever.
Ever, yeah.
I've never attended BlizzCon, and I know that much.
No, this is gonna be a good year. We're getting Diablo 4, dude. It's going down. It's going down, Jones.
Remember this moment.
Mark my words.
Mark his words.
Mark them.
I hope you guys have a great September, and hopefully Bossman didn't kill everyone at the Man of Medan stream. Corey Jackson. It wasn't Bossman. It was Elise. Wiped us out last time.
Yeah, at least wiped us out.
Elise and the guillotine light switch. Boom!
It's the best, dude. It's the best.
You get a death screen. You get a death screen. That was hilarious, though. I will not be at the Man of Medan stream, unfortunately.
I'm going to get myself killed tonight. I know that.
You think?
Because I'm going to say...
My God. All I know
I'm
is
not leaving anyone
that
behind.
trap door sequence going back through in the dark with the dogs. Remember, I had to do... There was like a 30-minute like break near the end of Until Dawn that was just me and like some of the sweatiest my hands have ever been. Wasn't in the caves. I was in like a psych ward. I think I was in the ward that's in
the inpatient.
That's in the inpatient.
Yeah.
And there's one door that's like, hey, what's in that door? And it's just into death. Like you literally go, huh? And death. Like something grabs you and like he's dead. And I was like, I'm not opening that. And I made it. And there was one like quick time thing I figured out like right at the last, which made it the funnier that like 20 minutes later we all just like a train coming into a station, dead.
What?
Tegan Combati, greeting Jones and Huber. Sorry for not posting more often. I'm a terrible ally. Tegan, remember, anytime you give us $10 and don't post in the showcase, it's a gift.
It's not. He's joking.
But I mean it is. I mean,
you're a great ally.
Yours means you're supporting us, and you're like, hey, I'm just going to support you that month.
You
are not taking what is owed to you, really. You know what I mean? So,
True.
So there's no
above and beyond.
There's no bad allies.
No bad allies.
That we talk about publicly. All right, my gaming time is unfortunately very limited, and while not always the case, I generally play fighting games, retro games that I love, and the absolute best games currently being released. Shout out to Sekiro, my Tenchu-esque love affair, and another one of my dream games made real, Resident Evil 2 Remake. Control is currently burning a lovely hole in my PS4. However, with Anthem, despite smelling trouble after playing the beta, I purchased and have been playing it since launch. I'm here for this. Yes, it was pretty rough in the beginning when compared to a decent level of accepted quality. However, perhaps because I played the game in small increments over time, I was able to really enjoy what is unique and best about the game. Flying in a gorgeous world while blowing up anything that moves. All this without being stressed by what could have made the game better. Not to mention, every time I jumped in, it seemed like there was a recent update with improvements to the game and new features added. I'm not defending the fact that EA put out a subpar game at launch. They absolutely did, and that's bad, just bad. But 6 months later, Anthem is a very different game, a better game, and probably the game that should have launched. Even now, there's still a lot of room for improvement, but I'm still having fun regardless. The Cataclysm event in Anthem is going on right now, and is a great time to return. Yeah, a lot was hinging on that. They talked about that at launch.
Kept delaying it.
And just cataclysms in general, if you know the story of Anthem.
Yeah.
It's like cataclysm. They talk about it a lot. It's a great time to return. Good to hear. Or hop in for the first time. Ironically, Iceborne and other stellar fall games are imminent. November alone is insane and will absolutely draw people away from Anthem, including me, to a degree. I also understand that it can be difficult to ignore and not be swayed by negative impressions and criticisms for the game. However, not just for Anthem, but any future game release. I believe it is in the best interest that people keep an open mind and try not to immediately compare games to be perfect tens of the world. I mean, he's playing to you. Come on now. No one wants to be disappointed. But sometimes games can be simply enjoyed for what they are and not what could have been. Now, real quick, don't forget to support Sega's upcoming Sega Genesis Classic. You never know, we might get a Dreamcast 2 down the line. With that said, Bradley Ellis once again, good announcements at BlizzCon, Dreamcast 2. I won't stand for any of this hokey wish nonsense. None of this is going to happen. I'm kidding. With that, Bradley Ellis once stated during the Hall of Greats, I don't think anyone can love something as much as Huber loves Streets of Rage 2. He's wrong. It's me, and it's also Streets of Rage 2. But you know what I love more? The fact that we're getting a sequel. Streets of Rage 4 is looking and sounding fantastic, not to mention Yuzo Koshiro and a few all-star composers are pumping out some killer beats. Do yourself a favor and watch some of that glorious extended gameplay from Gamescom. You guys are the best. Keep kicking ass and taking names, and I'll try to do the same. Love and respect. Tegan Combati. Well, he likes those fighting games, right?
Dude, Streets of Rage 4 is coming. Cherry Hunter, dude. Adam Hunter's like younger sister or something.
In the games world, you're doing okay. Resident Evil 2 remake. That's Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 4.
It's like when people now
2019.
When the question of
in gaming.
Yeah.
It's been good.
When the question gets brought up of like, what do you want to see come back? It's like everything has come back. We have made it. Like there is nothing left.
Well, that's the thing. That's why, like, again, well, you know my demon, right? If you had a guess, my little pocket wish, my little thing, like one franchise that I could bring back.
Disney Infinity.
No, it had its run. It'd be awkward.
Tension.
Because it'd be a different team.
Tension.
Well, no, it gets Sekiro, so we're fine with that. This baby's gone, and actually the genre's kind of dead too. Extreme sports genre.
SSX.
Yeah. I was at a point where I was like, it's gone. It's gone. It's never coming back.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Everything keeps getting like brought back, and I'm like, Final Fantasy VIII got remastered. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
tricky on Switch. Let's do it. Like let's
tricky
just
remaster.
Let's just do tricky. Well, yeah, but I mean, you don't even have to do that much to it. Just tricky on Switch.
Dino Crisis. You're right. Dino Crisis is the last one.
And then you're done. You'll go back like
and that's it.
Like the Underworld series. You'll go back into the crypt.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. Dino Crisis
Wait
has
when Resident Evil 3
returned.
remake happens. Jason Sackle. Ah, crud! I forgot about this again. I love Jason Sackle's poster in real time. So this is last Friday. You see the post go up. You're tired. It's late night, but you gotta type something. Here we go. Real time. Okay, August. Didn't really play any video games. I don't think. There was stuff that came out later in the month, but I'll talk about that next month. So random stuff time. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Kind of an okay season. But hoo boy, did they have a good lead in for the final season. I did appreciate the red herring that they had going, only for them to pull a different trick with Clark Gregg's character.
Yes.
I still think the show peaked during the framework arc.
Agreed.
Loved it when they pit characters against each other and then put them through hell. Personally, if you have a fan base that is shouting no or don't you dare at the void of Twitter, I think the writers are doing something right. I feel like we were just gypped out of a season of The Adventures of Fitz and Enoch. I would have taken that over pretty much the entire season. Still, looking forward to the final season next year. Yeah. Sometimes it's sad when a show ends, but I'm excited to see what some of the main cast does since they will be done with this. Especially Ian DeCastecker.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Do I know him? Is he a late? Because again, I made it through 3 seasons. Oh, he's Fitz. Yeah, he's great. By the way, Overlord was such an awesome movie that came out last year. Not that anime. Which had a Picross game that came out on Switch. I played that. Never watched and will probably never watch the anime, but I'm always game for some Picross. Anywho, that Overlord movie, Ian DeCastecker was in that.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked it out, well, you should correct that. What else? The Mandalorian looks awesome. I couldn't give two shits about Star Wars, but I'm all in for that. I've seen all of the movies. The last few were pretty rough. I'll probably see the one that comes out in December for the hell of it. The one that comes out in December is a really, really great dig at Star Wars.
Yeah, that one Star Wars movie in December. Yeah, I guess I'll see it.
Isn't that wasn't Burgundy was on some late night talk show? Burgundy was on like every late night talk show. He did like in one day he did a run of all of them.
Yeah.
And there was one where he was like, "Hey, he's excited for that Star Wars movie that's coming out." And the crowd was like, "Woo!" And he's like, "Is there one coming out? I don't even know. I just know I'd get everyone. You'd freak out if I said that." Like, fair. Oh boy, I have seen those movies. I have those I see the movies with that keeps it entertaining. I have those I see the movies with that keeps it entertaining.
I have those I see the movies with that keep it entertaining.
Oh, there it is.
Got it.
There it is. That's what you need a co-pilot. If I did a showcase by myself, I'd be in the weeds. My co-pilot. We landed. We brought it down. Oh yeah, the wheels touched down. Whew. Let's go get a drink, buddy. I've seen first one's on me. I've seen those. Okay, though that Last Jedi one was rough with the pacing. At least its salt scene gave us a huge belly laugh that lasted for a solid minute. I must be taking crazy pills. Everybody says, well, I don't see a problem with that. It's salt. Why?
I don't see wrong with that. You're saying Jones. That
He's a
is
soldier. You wanted to know what it was. So he tasted it.
classic Jones. That is the quintessential Jones rant.
Yeah.
It's my number one.
I know I've seen it a bunch recently,
best.
but like just me overthinking something
Yeah.
to the limits of overthinking. I know I've said it a bunch recently, but One Piece, that storytelling is just spot on. Oda recently said he would like to finish the series in the next 5 years. I don't see that happening, though I do not mind at all. I finished another read-through recently, and it's always amazing how he has some things so planned out. I love when he puts answers right in front of the reader that nobody will catch on until years later. I cannot praise enough the meticulous planning, world building, and storytelling Oda puts into the series. Love it.
It's awesome.
Cisco Ace Jackson Garcia, hello everyone. Cisco here. My trip to the Philippines has been an emotional roller coaster, especially now toward the end. We were playing by ear on whether or not our journey would keep us in Davao or send us to another island to do my girlfriend's work. They told her she would be staying, so we went about reserving accommodations and everything just for them to pull the rug out and send her off. So with not enough money, no refund available, and an unwillingness to put my girlfriend out of hundreds of dollars, I am stuck in Davao alone.
Whoa.
It is painful, but hey, I got to spend lots of time with her anyways. I could not ask for more. Happy to see her at all, especially because we have been together for 5 years, and this is only the second time meeting in person. I'm sorry, this is just like I'm 20 minutes into this movie, and I'm already like, wait, I'm watching this.
Yeah.
Also, she did accept the mermaid's pendant as a promise ring, so that was nice.
Nice.
Her family practically accepts me, which is a wonderful feeling to have. On the gaming front, not much has been going on. We're leaving all of that, and now we're talking about games.
Yeah.
Like, been playing.
I need to see this movie.
Been playing a GOW, which I'm assuming is God of War, as a movie for her brother while I'm over here. Started playing CS to play with her brothers, and I am I'm fucking terrible. Counter-Strike, I'm assuming. CS is Counter-Strike. There's nothing else CS is.
No.
But I enjoy watching it more anyways. Been an avid fan of Pro CS since 2014, 2015. My team is still the same since then. Dignitas to TSM to TQM to Astralis. Excited for Iceborne, and I've also never played WoW, but told an old college friend I would give it a go for him. Anime is still an active addiction I can't kick, but hey, keeps me entertained. Also, Line Webtoons is just as bad of an addiction and an ever-increasing money sink. Line Webtoons.
I don't know what that is.
There is never a limit to things you don't know about and can enjoy. I legitimize it in my head by thinking of it like buying trades at a comic store. Anyways, guys, next you hear from me, I will be back in the States and hopefully have some personal work updates to share. Welcome back, Jones. Love you, Huber. See you guys around. Cisco,
Love it.
you can keep going about that Philippines adventure.
Absolutely.
That's a story, dude. Ryan Gosling is in that movie.
He so is. Gosling's playing you.
Wow. This has been, talk about roller coaster, man. 2 hours in. We still have an hour and 53 minutes before we're starting our Man of a Dan stream.
Excellent.
So, and I need you to get food before we start the 6 hour stream.
Shit.
So let's hustle. We're on page 9 of 16, and once we get to the media, everything will hustle at a good pace. XWF. Outlaw. I restored XWF here, which that might be what it is on Patreon. Interesting. Good afternoon, Huber, chat, and a warm welcome back to you, Papa Jones. As fate would have it, I myself am returning to the community showcase from a hiatus since the year 3 meetup. I hope no one was worried I had succumbed to the easy virus 6 months ago. Haha. Now, a quick recap on what's been going on. Strap in. This summer has been great in beefing up my Switch catalog. The Switch, baby. The Switch. Even not playing Fire Emblem, even not having put nearly enough as much time as I should have into Mario Maker 2. Just, man, killing it.
Astral Chain.
I've played through Marvel Ultimate Alliance, a swimming 7. My friend Pedro, small but fun. My friend Pedro.
Yeah.
Those gifts, baby. Dabbled in Cuphead. Hard quit Travis Strikes Again. I also started Collection of Mana with Final Fantasy Adventure, but after an hour of playing, I died and forgot I had to manually save and lost all my progress.
When that happens.
Even after just an hour, it's like, yeah, right. For PS4, I replayed Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel with friends in preparation for Borderlands 3. Dude, you know what's brutal to delete from my backlog? Because I downloaded Vice City and San Andreas and Bully because I wanted to get a couple extra clips for the Talked in Rockstar Games. And every time I boot up my PS4, like Vice City is just like, what's up? I'm like, no.
What's up, Vice City?
No.
What's up, Tony?
Like, San Andreas is easy to be like, get out of here, San Andreas.
Yeah.
Like, San Andreas is fun, but like, I got GTA 5. Like, why would I really spend a lot of time like parachute and fly around? It's like I can dwell in GTA 5, I can jump online and play all that. But Vice City, nothing like it.
Definitely.
Fun to go back.
Definitely.
For PS4, I replayed Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel with friends in preparations for Borderlands 3, and I finally caved in and will be playing Control later this month. I dusted off my PS3 to play the original Assassin's Creed, and boy, is that game rough.
The original, awesome, dude.
It's
the only one that is not remastered, man. We need it. They're saving that. They're saving that of the official Assassin's Creed 1.
Wouldn't that be
remake
a coup?
Or remaster?
Remake!
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a coup? I never thought about that.
Everything else has been
Even
remastered.
if it was like hella short.
Yep.
Even if it was like $40.
Yep.
And was just like a 30-hour open world game or something.
Yep.
And they just like told the story. They're like, we didn't want to make the map bigger because that wouldn't make sense. It wasn't bigger than that. Like we literally this is the world that was there. Yeah. Have all the things based on just make it look prettier, make the cutscenes way better, recast or redo the dialogue.
Would love it.
Bring Nolan back. Yeah. But yeah, it's not to practice like over forgiveness, but like Assassin's Creed 1 is broken in an almost kind of pleasant way.
It is so
because
pleasant.
you know what they fixed. It's so obvious because the whole genre picked up Watch Dogs, all of that extended from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Even like Horizon and like Breath of the Wild and all that, like all of that is just kind of like just ripples in the water from like Assassin's Creed being like this is kind of what we're gonna focus on now. Traversal's a big deal.
I love like blending in.
Seeing Altair just like boop boop boop. You're like,
dude, the traversal.
Whoa.
So good.
Uncharted was obviously after Assassin's Creed, right?
Assassin's Creed 1, yeah.
Yeah. So second Uncharted. Completely different franchises. Having never played an AC game, I could understand the appeal upon its initial release, but going forward on this game will be a chore. Even playing Brotherhood again was like, okay, little clunky.
Oh, it's clunky.
When you like move the analog stick, you're like, jump over there. No, whoa.
I can't get
whoops,
enough
that works in Odyssey.
that entire franchise is my warm blanket. I just...
What was not a chore was the next franchise playthrough I started after finishing the Kingdom Hearts series this past winter. Devil May Cry. I was inspired by Ben's retrospective to give the series a go, of it, as I own every game in the series sans DMC5, and I never played them before. Devil May Cry was a real treat, and I hope to push forward with the DMC2, and I've heard from many that game is terrible. DMC2 is terrible, but it's not taxing.
And it's short.
So that's what's nice, and it's super short. You can beat DMC2 in a night.
Invest in the guns.
It's not, yeah.
Ebony and Ivory. Ebony and Ivory, Devil May Cry 2, you're good.
Just keep tapping that button. Of course, like the classic story with me is I was like, this game's great. Like same thing. I didn't finish 1, and I was like 2 came out. I'm like, I'm gonna jump in, and I'm like, this game's fun. This past Labor Day weekend, I was home alone, tasked with dog sitting my sister's pupper. So we took the opportunity to watch all 6 of my favorite action franchise, Mission Impossible. While MI2 is by far the worst movie in the series by a mile, the other 5 has high rewatch value, especially the first movie, pure espionage at its finest. Brian De Palma is one of my favorite directors. Finally, on a personal note, I got a new job! The busy working hours are a thing of the past, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more with my newly acquired free time. That's it for now. The next month will be a hurtin' on a lot of people's wallets, including my own, with so many great games releasing. See you next month, everyone. Love and respect. Hashtag now and forever. Hashtag T2 holds up, Jones.
T2 holds up. T2 Dark Fate, Jones. We'll give you a hype check. 1 to 10.
Like 4, dude. I'm not even kidding, dude. I'm not even kidding. Like 4. I gotta protect myself, man. I'm putting on the seatbelt. I'm testing that the airbag is installed. You know what I mean? I will get in that car and we can drive at that wall and we'll see what happens.
Jones, it's going to
but
be
I
amazing.
am putting on my seatbelt.
I promise you, Dark Fate will be good. At a minimum, it will be good.
I will meet you. I will reach across the aisle and I will meet you at. There will be at least 3 moments in that movie where I will go, whoa! It'll have that. Like, you can tell from the trailers that, like, whoa, like they're doing it. Like, honestly, one of my favorite moments from Salvation is the motorcycle robot switchy swap, where he they think they got it, but he like dodges the rock and he goes wee, and you're like, never seen that in a Terminator movie. That was fun. Yeah. So I'm looking to see Terminators do something I haven't seen before. But this, what it reminds me of is Gods and Monsters, which I never saw. No, not Gods and Monsters. What was the... Gods and Monsters...
Gods of Egypt.
Gods of Egypt. Gods and Monsters is the Brendan Fraser, Ian McKellen film, which is very different.
Gods of Egypt.
It's got that, vibe. Just
Dude, Dark Fate, I swear, is going to be good.
People...
James Cameron...
Lots of backflips.
James Cameron
Lots of pouncing.
All the Terminators past 2 to know what he should do for Dark Fate. I just thought it was funny.
Still 4. Matthew Pauling. Not sure when the cut of time. We've had a lot of agreements here in the showcase, so I think that's fair. People gotta know where the limit is. Matthew Pauling, not sure when the cut of time is. So maybe I missed out. I missed the last few months. LOL. My procrastination be damned. So if it makes it in this post, I would first like to say to Huber, I like your review, but there were several problems I could not understand with Control. You didn't even mention. Number one, as an avid Metroidvania game player, I hate the game's loot. Normally you backtrack for meaningful loot like loot, health gun upgrades, etc. The best games like this even hide entirely new areas, weapons endings this way. Or weapons endings.
Weapons are optional?
Control has some backtrack side stuff, but why the hell does the game use random loot? Oh wait, we use random loot. It does not work for a game like this.
It's more of an action game than a Metroidvania game. It's an action game with Metroidvania elements. I love that there's not a ton of loot. I think there's just enough to have that carrot on the stick and have it not bog down the rest of the game. You know, it's not about that.
Number two, no torch. Flashlight. Now I get this is a problem that depends on your setup, but I tried messing with my setting a lot so far, and I find that getting the setting works. Find a setting that works not this game. Normally dark areas work fine as I simply turn on a torch. But with the absence of one, I was forced to make dark areas bright, which made bright areas such as white rooms or the furnace blinding voids. 3, Marshall was a white lady before I met her. I swear when they mentioned Marshall before, they showed a mature white lady doing things. So when I meet Marshall and I have a bugged no-word conversation with a black lady, I get very confused. What? Is this a bug they did to change Marshall at some point but didn't change her in the videos? Anyway, I like the game. Whoa.
That definitely did not happen to me.
Crazy.
No. That's weird.
That's a glitch.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just like the game. I feel like some people haven't mentioned its problems. What I would like to shout out this month is Remnant from the Ashes. If the Ally stream didn't sell you, let me tell you this is my game of the year. The secrets and worlds are amazing, and the variety of monsters is staggering. If you thought it was all cool tree demons, you're way off. Oh, and would you believe I got the enchanted roll on the first boss, and yep, like the PR guy said, it's the worst. Everybody buy this game so we can get more multiverse worlds.
Nice.
So there you go. Fair.
Yeah, I was sad I couldn't bring up the ray tracing in the review. I thought they were going to say that because I couldn't go to... Ian was gone, so I couldn't go over and see the ray tracing. Because when I read a review, I want to appeal to as many people as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that has been kind of a criticism, is that I do slightly more broad than in-depth. Because, one, I don't like to give away spoilers, so I do kind of hold a lot back.
Trust me, he doesn't.
I hold a lot back, which kind of gets me into trouble into, like, deep diving. But also, too, I kind of just like to do a, hey, if you don't really know what this game is, this is what it is, check it out.
Yeah.
I think if you like, you know, I try to do a broad, like Roger Ebert style, you know? But
I love it when we get...
Reviews are hard.
I love it when we, community showcase is like a slot machine, and I love it when we hit 2 just random things. We're like, oh, we got a little bit of coins back on One Piece. One Piece coming back into the conversation. Gareth Forthshot. Hey, Brandon and Huber. This month I thought I'd talk about one of my favorite anime, One Piece, and in particular, Devil Fruits, the way the people gain magic abilities. Why I think they're such an important part of the anime manga. Firstly, the briefest of introductions. One Piece is about Luffy trying to Luffy. I think it's Luffy. One Piece is about Luffy trying to find the most valuable treasure in the world, One Piece, and become king of the pirates. Devil fruits are large fruit which supposedly contain a devil. By eating the fruit, you take in this devil and gain a magical ability at the cost of losing the ability to swim. So what makes devil fruit ability such an important part of what makes One Piece great? Power scaling. Shows like Dragon Ball and Naruto, where energy blasts can always become bigger and more powerful, suffer from power creep as enemies are forced to become stronger to continue being a threat. Devil fruit abilities, meanwhile, are static, and they don't inherently become more powerful over time, meaning strategy and how a person uses their ability is just as important as the ability itself and the physical strength of the user. Luffy, the main character, is a key example of this. The devil fruit he ate transformed his body into rubber, which doesn't sound like much of a great ability, does it? But the way he uses it has allowed him to become extremely strong. At the simplest level, he can punch and kick enemies from a distance because his limbs can stretch, dull scene, and his body bounces away blunt weapons. But where does it go from there? Luffy discovers that because his heart and arteries are made of rubber, they can withstand far higher pressures than a normal body. He uses his legs like a pump to ramp up the speed of his heart, which then delivers far more blood and oxygen around his body, effectively giving him a powered-up mode at the cost of using energy at an extremely accelerated rate. But most importantly, giving a specific cause to Luffy's increased strength, the mastery of his ability, not just his high power level increased. This kind of ingenuity is used on many of the other abilities which show up in One Piece, giving weird abilities really cool uses in niche situations where they become top tier. Another Devil Fruit user is Bartholomew Kuma, who has the ability to repel anything touched by his palms. Anything. He can repel the air to create a shockwave. Any attack that hits his palm is instantly reversed. And now the unique spin, he can even repel the damage out of someone's body, creating a literal bubble of pain that if anyone touches, they can take on all the damage which was just extracted. Damn!
Anime.
Running out of words. I'll leave you with this. A gun was fed a devil fruit so it turns into a Labrador-sized dachshund dog. The gun dog has a cold, and when it sneezes, it shoots a cannonball. Love and respect, Gareth Forshaw.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Way to drop an excellent point right at the end of the post.
One Piece, cool stuff.
And I love One Piece. I can love it from afar.
Yep.
It's funny. I just imagine like getting to the pearly gates, right? Ah, and like doors open up, and you're just like, what? And you're in like the biggest library ever, and they're just like, hey, you have all the time in the world now, and you're like, really? Let's do One Piece. Let's do it.
Let's start there.
And then like
See
you
you
walk into the One Piece like amphitheater, and everyone there is like, hey, like we had the same thing. Do you want to? Let's start it over for Jones. Let's start it over. Like what? We're on episode 582. Like I know, but we got nowhere to go. Let's start it over. I can just watch it in my own room. Like no. It's no big deal. It's the 56th time we started it over this year. Drawings. Finally time. We made it. Well, my name is... And I love to do drawings. Eric Jackson. Hey there, allies. I am excited because Eric Jackson tries to do the thumb play every single month where he goes for that thumb. And it's brutal because he knows as long as he can draw a cool, funny picture of one of the allies, he's going to get in that thumb. Eric Jackson gets in there most of the time. I am ecstatic to announce today, not this time, Eric, not this time. And you'll see. I'll bring it up and you will see like, oh, that is a low blow in terms of like, how can you not make that the thumb? I've been looking for a thumb. And I'm not just saying if you draw pictures of us, you'll instantly get in the thumb. It just has to be something that you can tell is like about us. It's just kind of like about the allies or something. Like sometimes those thumbs just jump out. And not this time. This image is really interesting. You can get like a close-up version of this image that I think he like made into like thumb proportions. It's like, not this time, Eric Jackson. Hey there, allies. Wonderful to have you back, Brandon, and a warm thank you to Damiani for the labor he put in during your paternity leave. This month I haven't made much art because I've been busy since landing my first ever voiceover role in an online web series. Stay tuned. I also unfortunately almost broke my ankle a couple weeks ago during a performance, long story, but finished strong and still on the road to recovery. In the meantime, there's a little something I've been itching to share. Thanks for being my spirit animal, Huber. I just got your Resident Evil 2 Platinum in your name.
Nice.
Eric Jackson, consider not drawing for a month or not submitting art and tell us that ankle story. I want to know what happened. But I mean, come on, is this guy? First of all, there's this, which is great. I love to see myself captured. I should put that on Twitter. Just me, just like so angry. I love the super hot, like exploding out of my head. It's like super hot, and I just got shot in the neck.
What was I just saying? My favorite rant?
Super hot. What?
My favorite Jones rant?
Someone was saying theirs?
No, earlier I was like, that's my favorite rant. It's number one. We were just talking about it.
And you don't remember. You're asking me if I remember, you remember, but I don't. I missed that.
What was it? What was my favorite Jones rant that I just said, chat?
You never listened to my T2 rant. Never even listened to it.
We just said.
He's not even paying attention to it now. He's just gonna keep ignoring it.
The salt, dude. This is you about the salt.
The salt. Episode 9
salt.
Thank
you, chat.
There it is. The salt.
Yeah.
It's the end of the movie. 2 hours plus, and you're talking about salt. But that's not it. You think that's the thumb. You think that's the thumb troll, but it's not. That's clearly this. And it's like I'm just not gonna fall for it. There's got to be some time we have to fight against Eric Jackson and his clear thumb bait. Although that is a really beautiful thing. Although that is really, really special. What's with the keys?
Sick.
I gotta know. What's with the keys? With Brad? Is it like a Brad reference? Is that a Persona reference? The keys. That's so specific.
Does he have keys in the?
The keys.
Maybe maybe his character has keys. I don't remember those.
It's
a Persona thing.
We'll leave this up because it's beautiful, but it won't be the thumb. Jay Marm. Hello, allies. This is the first time I've ever applied to the Community Showcase. What I want to share with you is a personal project I've been working on for a little more than a year now. Let me give you guys a little bit of context first. I've been a huge Nintendo fan since I got my first Super Nintendo back in 1993, and it hasn't stopped to date. So I've always loved drawing, and I'm currently working in an animation studio as a storyboard artist. Anywho, about the project. Starting back in May 2018, I decided to work on a series of illustrations based on something I loved, and the first thought that came to mind was Nintendo characters. And what better collection of characters in gaming is there, if not the Super Smash Bros. Series? So, for the past year, I've been uploading weekly about 1 or 2 characters of the series with the aim of drawing each and every single one of the characters in the roster, including alt genres such as Robin and Female Robin, and palette swaps like Alf and the Koopalings. It is the first time I've dedicated myself to a project of such a scale, and I've done every single one up to Banjo, and I'm eagerly awaiting the last 2 entries. I called the series Super Smash Buddies. Anywho, back to the Smash series. I learned a lot about the process of this journey, during the process of this journey. Probably what stuck out with me the most, even more than developing my artistic skills, was reaching the ability to focus on a single mission and see it through to its very end, and I must say, feels pretty darn good. If I could give a word to advice to anyone to work on any kind of project, it would be to work on something you absolutely love, to try to have fun with it and not to put yourself in a box. When I was around the 30th character on my series, I started to feel burned out because I was planning to use the exact same style on every character, and it began to get boring. Just thinking about the more than 50 characters left felt like an immense task, however. Once I decided to free myself from my self-imposed limits, I was able to grow much more and let the style of my artwork progress from drawing to drawing, and looking back at it all now, I'm very glad I did. So, do what you love. Don't limit yourself. And overall, try to have fun. Thank you so much for taking the time to read this. You can check out my Super Smash Buddy series on my personal Instagram at jmarm. That is at j.marme. And as always, love and respect from Tijuana, Mexico. See you guys. Love Jmarm. And there's a ton of these. And there's a super long comment. And so it's sticky because it's like, if you want to leave a big comment, do that. If you want to leave art, photos, video, do that. The long comment with the art, generally frowned upon in the showcase. But first time we're hearing from Jmarm,
nice.
And I couldn't let this comment go by, obviously, without that for Huber.
Oh yeah.
So imagine many more of those.
Oh yeah.
I like how he's drooling, barfing, drinking, smoking, and breathing fire all at the same time. Like he's literally just.
That is so good.
Like that's Dark Souls boss level.
That is Bowser in Mount Doom with the ring. Like,
that is Bowser
so
unable to just completely unable to help himself from setting things on fire.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I gotta be honest, I'm gonna grab, Link is one of my mains. I also really like Simon Belmont, obviously, but just had to grab that one. Super jolly. But just to give you an idea of the different styles. Really good.
So good.
Really good. I love how determined they are, man. I love Bulbasaur and Squirtle. Like they are ready. They're ready to kick some ass. Tej. Hello, Hubert and Jones. I didn't have much time this past month for a lot of art, so I'm sharing some kind of new stuff as well as some older drawings. Also, let me apologize for the shameless self-promotion that is about to occur in this moment. I have a Hollow Knight illustration I made as well as a Mario illustration. Let's start with Mario.
Hollow Knight, dude. I'm playing through it right now.
Oh my god.
Holy shit, this game is good.
Wow, here we go.
Dude, Hollow Knight. Stop what you're doing and go play Hollow Knight.
So are these emotions you're having right now watching this?
Yes.
That makes it feel like take it away and put it back?
Dude,
really good. Really good art. And Mario, of course.
Oh, that's so good.
So jolly. So funny. I love how some of them are pissed and some of them are happy.
Yeah,
I love how happy Boo is. That's what makes Boo so scary. Is Boo is just so happy. Boo is just floating towards you like, get that damage. As well as a Mario illustration, these were drawn live for folks who wanted to watch me on my Twitch page, twitch.tv/TEEKETCH. T-Ketch. TEEKETCH. T-Ketch. And are both available as prints in my shop at tketch.com. Last are a couple drawings of characters from the anime manga Fire Force. They are of the main character Shinra, as well as my personal favorite character Arthur. And with these, my last plug is that both were posted on my Patreon with time-lapse videos. And if you like art and want to maybe improve or learn a little about making it, then check out patreon.com/tketch. Again, TEEKETCH. As always, keep the great work you guys do, and thanks for such a great community. And, as always, the advertising yourself and selling your own stuff is a slippery slope here on the showcase, but always nice to let people know where they can check this stuff out. And these are these 2 characters.
It's like boo.
You can see a little bit more. It's a
Dude,
little,
so sick.
little cross lightsaber.
So sick.
There's the two of them. Really, really cool.
Awesome.
The real, especially with this one, man. The blue on the black is like
it looks really cool.
really well done. Those are pretty.
That's really
All these two dudes up.
Yeah. This is sweet.
But especially if it's your first time. It's your first time, joining the showcase and introducing yourself to a lot of the allies. It's nice to be like, hey, here's my channel. And I will post after the showcase is over. We will make this post live. Always forget to mention that at the top of every single showcase I've ever done. So if you're like, hey, this was cool. I want to check out that person's Twitter page, or I forgot their name. Patreon.com/EasyAllies. It's always like a little ways back because we put it 4 or 5 days before the showcase, so people get a chance to post before the previous month is over. But this post will be made public, and so you can go back and check out everything that you've seen today. Chum Nguyen, hi Jones and Huber. Here are drawings I did last month. 1. Xu Ying Hong, aka Li Xiao Tao, wearing a dress that I saw in her room. Is that a Shenmue character?
Shenmue, yeah.
Well, here we go.
She is so epic.
Bam.
Sick. Awesome.
Huber approved.
Yeah.
2 and 3, Ren holding his trusty coin. Shenmue 2 has a nice supporting cast.
Yeah, it does.
It
really does. The lovely Shoto.
And I love
Sick.
What's really great about these from Chum, aka Tirju Engi.
Dude, it's rad.
Is we got the colorization. So I tried to line these up. They're not perfect, but I love doing this. Just back and forth. Oh, I gotta take this away. I love doing this.
Oof. Yeah.
Really good.
Amazing coloring.
Really good.
Dude, that looks so good.
Of course. And then same thing here. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
it's so good.
Rio excited after catching 3 leaves with 1 try. Rest of these are done with watercolor. Rio punch background. I pretty half-assed it, but it's still cute.
Oh, that's awesome.
Rio punch.
Dude, I love that one.
That's what I love. Chum,
I watched that anime.
That's what I love with your stuff is you always change up your style, and I think that's so cool. And then, ladies and gentlemen, announcing the thumbnail for the September Community Showcase. Yes, baby.
What the hell?
So excited. Chum does not miss a showcase, man. He is here every month. And Chum, I'm so excited to have one of your pieces of art be in the thumbnail. And I love it so much. Especially because we got to get in real close for the thumb. So you can imagine just across the face, you're like, what is that? That's Huber, baby. Host Huber really screwed up his eyes, so I gave him shades. Gave him also a zombie Wesker eyes because mysterious monsters. 8 and 9, if you read this, Final Fantasy VIII Remastered releases today. That's it for this month. Love and respect, Tirju Engi.
Yeah, the shades threw me off.
Yeah. I know. That's why I love it. That's why I love it. Awesome. It throws you off. But again, here, it's like, I love it.
Nice.
Final Fantasy VIII, baby. That hype.
8, dude, redemption.
Yeah, I love my boy Dave Oshry on Twitter was really pissed about the ground textures. I guess the grass is like not. When you're just in the open world and you're running around.
Yeah.
Something's got to give. Silent Hill, it was the fog, you know.
But that actually changes the game. Whereas the grass in Final Fantasy doesn't matter.
Hot take. All right, that's it for drawings, everybody. Wonderful drawings. Moving on to photos.
Those are amazing. Thank you. So good.
Tokyo Slim. PAX Picks. Tokyo, I love this post. I love all of them, obviously, but I miss PAX so much. I haven't been in several years, and this is such a great... We got cosplay. There's one picture in here also that just takes me back because I love Seattle. Especially where the Seattle surrounding the convention center is a fun place to chill. No.
Watch The Killing. Underrated.
Oh, it's good. Seattle.
It's one of my favorites.
Good Seattle tour.
Yeah.
PAX Picks, Shinra Electric Power Company.
Shinra.
I mean, you've seen that, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Sector 1 Reactor Hype. It's a good cosplay of Joker. No, not that Joker. The other one. No, the other one. Washington State Convention Center's chillest seating, and this is true. I love this spot. So this is behind the convention center. So this is looking north, and that's where everything is just built so well because the roads go right up into the convention center, and then the convention center kind of lifts up and over this hill. And what's really great about Seattle when you're there is it's really easy to tell where you are because Seattle's like slanted like that. So the wharf's like at the bottom of a hill and the convention center's at the top of the hill. So you can kind of always tell where you're going because as long as you're going uphill, you're going, toward that direction. You're going east. So actually, I'm sorry, this is not north. This is looking east. And when you get back behind the convention center because you're right in the city. And then you like get in the back there, and then all of a sudden it's just concrete and pine trees and like these intersecting like on ramps going in through the freeways. Sucks to drive on these freeways. There's almost always traffic because it's like downtown LA.
Yeah.
Where you're like getting on it, you're taking like the 101 to the 110 to the 101, and it's like 2 lanes. Are you kidding? It's just not built for it, and it's right in the heart of downtown LA, so they can't make it bigger because there's nowhere to go. So yeah, the bottleneck on that freeway is not fun, but great place to to go out and.
That's at the convention center. That's fun.
And, Seattle, it's always overcast, and so it's like being out there when there's a gentle mist, but you got overhang, so you're not getting wet. Super hype, and just that when I saw this picture, I was like, oh, I miss PAX. Hopefully, gonna try to get there in 2020. It's a goal.
Is there a window there or no?
No, that's just
It's cool.
You can.
It's very cool.
Hawk loogies on those cars if you want. I don't recommend. Still going. Wait, where are we? This is funny. People playing Graveyard Keeper while relaxing in coffins. On the Switch. So great. So great with the neon. I asked if I could take a pic of this Enforcer's dope Katamari Prince bag, and you can tell she was like, okay, fine, I got work to do. This is the same theater I saw School of Rock at a few months ago. Boom, boom. And now I am the first person in line at the Supergiant 10-year anniversary concert. Photo taken from the perspective of an actual Supergiant, Darren Korb, Ashley Barrett, Austin Wintry, and the Supergiant Orchestra at the very end. Boom.
Cool.
Jolly. Fun to go to those things, obviously, not only because you appreciate the, good vibes all around, because you're with, like, a very specific fan base.
Yeah.
So the really good conversations while you're waiting in line. That's what was great about PSX, because it's like, we're all friends here.
Yeah,
it's like,
totally.
what game do you play on PlayStation? I play this. Well, I play this. What game do you want to come to PlayStation? I want them to do this. Lovely to cover PAX. I'm bummed. Bummed to miss it. Another year. Samuel Rosman, aloha, Brandon and Huber. I hope everything is well with you all. First of all, I just wanted to give a quick update on what I brought up in my care package earlier, right after E3. My psoriatic arthritis is still giving me daily pain and discomfort, but I might finally be getting a working treatment in the coming weeks. I've tried a couple meds in the past few months, but have had to end them due to side effects that were pretty horrible. My involvement, that's what's brutal, is when the side effects are worse than the thing they're trying to fix. My involvement in the business that we are trying to start up is still progressing slowly, too slowly, so no real update there. I feel you. I've been there. I'm still not able to play console games due to my injured left hand, which is really unfortunate since we're getting into the main gaming season. In the next weeks, I was going to buy Iceborne and Borderlands 3. Iceborne, not really a game you can play with an injury. I really want to replay Catherine Full Body as well. Actually, I think that one might be possible if I play it on easy mode since I beat the original. Gears 5 looks interesting. But I only play them for story mode anyway. I could never, ever get into the multiplayer. It's just not fun. Then we also got the Ni no Kuni remaster and Code Vein. More games to add to my backlog. Who is it? Let's go. Okay. Is that it? Is that all you're giving people?
Huh? No.
What if
I have a school.
If I go full screen cam?
I have a school note to pass you.
A school. Ooh.
Have Huber read for a second.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not that long of a note.
Yeah, it's a short note.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Woo! And you have all the tools for that? Oh, is it because that's different from what they asked,
I
right?
think I can do it online.
I should have set that up for you and just had that ready. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Business ethics. Then we also got the Ni no Kuni remaster and Code. You seem tired.
Should I go Davey Havoc? Misfits? Yo, let's go Misfits. Yo,
then we also got the Ni no Kuni remaster and Code Vein. More games to add to my backlog. Once my hand is good enough to play again, I may pick up Iceborne and Borderlands regardless and try to figure out a way to play. I've been watching a ton of TV and movies, though. Stranger Things and The Boys were amazing. I also enjoyed Swamp Thing, which I've heard is good.
Dude, but it got canceled, remember?
No.
Jones.
I probably did.
One episode aired, and then they canceled it. And the episode that
people said he was on a good track, though. From one episode,
everyone loved it. The critical reviews were amazing. Everyone's like, "This show's awesome." Canceled.
Brutal.
Yeah. There's got to be some backdoor shady deals with that going on somewhere, like him in a movie or something, messing with the movie rights, something. I don't know.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the final season of Elementary.
Wait.
Krypton, what he's watching.
Okay.
Krypton Season 2 had some good moments, but it's canceled now, so the main storyline is unfinished. Currently watching Pennyworth and Preacher. I didn't know
Nice.
Pennyworth started.
Pennyworth, I don't know
with
that
Carnival Road, Dark Crystal, and Legion Season 3. Still got to watch Legion Season 2. I loved Legion Season 1. And Titan Season 2 coming up.
Here's a request. Anytime
Carnival Road looks
you
interesting.
mention Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in my presence, be it
You gotta
here
do
or
specifics.
online or anywhere, be a little more specific, please.
Yeah.
Don't
Give
just
me
gloss
details.
over it.
Give me details.
Give me details.
Playing, also been playing some WoW Classic here and there. Playing
Nice.
mostly with the mouse and just a couple of fingers on my left hand is challenging, but man, I forgot how different and difficult it was back then. Rose-tinted glasses to be sure, but still fun. I'm also trying to get back into Lego as physical therapy for my left hand. Made a couple sets, including a custom one based on a few ones I found online with my modifications. The big set I bought just because we had a major anniversary on July 20th. Was going to share it last month, but didn't have the time. Have an amazing September. Just wanted to thank Chad, especially for the warm wishes during the reading of my original letter. You allies are the best. Love and respect, Samuel Rosman, aka Namzor. So again, huge comment with the images. Crossing the line a little bit, but I do want to show him, so we'll go through them really quickly. But here's the Lego set that he's building.
Cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
Very, very cool. Multiple angles, multiple modifications.
Very nice.
Love it. Just love the little guys. Chilling. Nice. And then, oh. That can't be custom, right? Because of the stickers?
Yeah, I don't know.
But that must be like one of the smallest Lego sets I've ever seen.
yeah.
But those are very fun. Boom. Thank you. Sadly, and I should have mentioned this at the top, I'm sorry. We'll definitely take you for the next showcase. And if you want to double down, if you want to post this stuff along with, a September's worth of stuff, or an October's rather, because that'll be the next showcase. Next Gen Hef sent me screenshots of Builders 2. Nothing I want more than Builders 2 screenshots, but via Google Drive, and I didn't have permission.
Oh,
So, sorry, couldn't get in there. And I should have mentioned that at the top in case you were going to make those fixes. We had a delay because we went offline. We got the Man of Medan stream coming up. We want to get ready for that. And Amanda and I both have a full day today. I'm going to be working on something, and so I won't be around for the Man of Medan review. And Amanda, which is working, which is great. But for an actor, once you get work, you can't. So, like, working on a Tuesday was like, so we got the mother-in-law in town. We are buying mom-in-law time. That
Nice.
meter, that taxi meter with the
Run it
mom-in-law is running. So, like, I
Run
can't,
it
sometimes after showcases, we do a little bit of try to pick up. I think there were a couple comments that when I clicked on the post I didn't get to. So something filtered through. I apologize. It's my first showcase coming back. I promise I will make time to get through everything next month if anything slipped. But Next Gen Hef says, "Hi Jones and Huber. I've been thinking about a fan pitch for my idea of a Batman Beyond trilogy. I will try and have it ready for you next time you two are on together, which will at least be like 8 months away. 7 to 8 months. In the meantime, here are a bunch of Dragon Quest Builders 2 screenshots. Warning, very light spoilers in the last two photos, but the references make them worth sharing. Love and respect, Sean." And it's a bummer because they got that photo mode in Builders 2 that's really great. You can change expressions and everything, and it's fun. My favorite image that I saw online is there's a, and this was much scarier than I thought it was going to be, but I went into the ocean and I was wondering, I'm like, can I swim down like into the depths? How does this work? And you go too far out and it says a menacing presence is approaching. So it basically means like, go back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I wonder what this is. And like, I have a fear of dark water. So I'm just like, this is totally playing into my craziest phobias. And I was like, here we go. And I was expecting like this huge thing to come like out of the deep and swallow us, or something like to sink us down from the deep. And it's like a hot mermaid. It's like a big buff dude with like gills. He's kind of genie-esque. Like he doesn't have legs. It's like a tornado, and he just comes swirling in and like picks you up in a tornado and does like so much damage you die. And that's it. I was like, oh, okay. But my favorite image. Spoilers, man. When you're playing Builders 2, they show these on loading screens. So you literally boot up the game, and it's like, now loading the game. Oh, by the way, you unlock this when you beat it. And you're like, thanks. So these images come up. It's like, this guy took a fun picture, and you're like, I didn't know I went to that cool desert town. Like,
Can you opt out of that?
I don't think so. So you're like, it's cool to have a photo mode. Fun to see what people are working on. You kind of spoiled the ending for me right there,
what
but
the
whatever.
hell?
But my favorite image is somebody got a screen grab of you and Malroth, your little companion, swimming away from that guy who's like gunning toward him, and he gave them scared expressions, so they're both like like swimming through the water as this like big buff like
That's funny.
dude comes flying out.
Are you gonna play 11 on Switch?
No.
Why?
I already beat it, dude.
Oh yeah.
Remember, man? Come on. You
Dude,
forget
because I wasn't
you forget
involved in
so
that, dude.
quickly.
I know. I never got to share the 11 hype with you.
Oh,
Because you guys burned through it and I was
any
doing
old
other
time.
shit. It took me like a year to go back to it.
I didn't burn through it. I played it faster than I thought I would. I was surprised. And we were talking during the Q&A about grinds, like good grinds. That's a good
One of the best
grind.
grinds.
That is a jolly.
Brad and I
jolly
decided
grind.
last night in Battle.net chat that World of Warcraft Classic is the best grind of all time. Best of all time.
Best grind of all time.
Best grind of all time. It's
Top
WoW.
10, top 10 grinds.
It's WoW Classic. We decided.
What are some good grinds? You know what's a
Grind
good
it
grind? You know
out.
what's a good grind?
Classic grind.
Tactics. Final Fantasy.
Tactics. A good grind. Great grind.
That is a satisfying grind.
Great grind, dude. Tactics. Bring it back.
People get more powerful in that game, and it feels good. All right. Time for music, everybody. Here we go. Let us know if stuff's too loud, too soft. But here it is. Actually, before I'm going to go in, we have a really unusual thing. We have an unusual post.
Okay.
The first time on the community showcase, I believe that I was sent just a audio file.
Whoa.
So like I don't have a link to something. There's no video involved. This is literally just sound. So I can go full cam for this.
I hope it's horror.
Take it away, Jesse Blue. Hello, allies in chat. Jesse Blue here. Although this isn't what I plan to submit, I hope you find it equally entertaining. Take it away, Jesse.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Community Showcase for the month of September 2019. What a year it's been. Brandon Jones, welcome back. I wanted to tell you, baby Milo is beautiful. As a mom, I can say it really changes your perspective when you look down at that tiny sleeping face and say, you know what, that other thing, it can wait. I'm here now, and I'm just gonna look at you. Enjoy that moment of peace before it erupts again. Michael Huber. First, let me say I am so hyped we got at least one more episode of Huber Syndrome before you put it in the vault. Gave me a little chance to, say goodbye for now, 'cause it's just for now. And anyway, I'm super hyped for Huber's Prison of Love. I'm really hoping this will be a little more long form, because I can't get enough of you guys. We need more love in this world, and if people want to judge you for telling other guys I love you, so be it. I think everyone should love everyone, and you shouldn't be afraid to express love regardless of gender. Every time you hug someone, and when you send us hugs by hugging yourself, I feel it. And though I'm sad Huber Syndrome is going into the vault for a while, I think you'll bring it back with renewed vigor and hype it to the max. I know I've mentioned before in chat and on other shows, though I don't know if you remember, but I'm pursuing my dream to get into doing voiceover. And I wanted to let everyone know that I don't have my demo back yet. I was hoping I'd have it for this showcase, but alas, it was not to be. That did, however, give me the opportunity to send this in and tell you how much your jolly vibes and camaraderie with the other allies has been a huge part of making the pursuit of this dream a reality. And I wanted you to hear how it sounds for your type of hype to come out of someone else. I'm loving the jolly vibes of the new
Good mic,
small
Jesse.
group streams, and I'm glad to
Sounds
see
good.
you're still popping out there for solo streams. I think people were worried that the new group streams would replace solo streams. I like the earlier times because I'm outside of Chicago, so it's 2 hours later here, and I have to get up at 6 a.m. to work all day. So I usually can only catch the first hour of the Tuesday night group streams. I love watching the new streams while running errands or waiting for my daughter at her karate lessons. So jolly. I laugh so much. I love you, Huber and Jones and all the other allies, and I love all of you, chat. Your love and support for each other and the community has really been a boost to my confidence. Being involved in Glinny's Game Jam was a blast. I hope if we do it again, I can put my own vocals into a game. This new EZA Phase 4 has been great. So much new content to watch. To the people who are saying that EZA isn't giving me what I want or what I signed up for anymore, for me, it's not
Shade.
about what I can get for as little as possible. It's about supporting people, spreading a positive message, and their love of all creative endeavors, be it games, music, movies, all of it. We are a community, and we can help support each other, too. Help people follow their dreams. It happened to me, and I want to help it happen to someone else. I guess that's all for now. Take it easy, Huber. Enjoy life, love, happiness, and hype. Love and respect, Jesse Blue.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. First time we've ever had that. Literally
10 out of
just a little audio log. Just a little audio pickup.
10 out
And again,
of
Jesse
friggin'
Blue
10.
with a short comment. So again, if you want to submit audio, that's great. If you submit audio and a super long comment,
Tens.
those two are at odds.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, just chat was like, "Who's Jesse Blue?" Jesse Blue's, another patron, just another person supporting this in any way that they can. Yeah, I love how that came together.
That means a lot. That was very touching.
Ben Fitter. Hey there, Jones and Huber. To welcome Jones back to the showcase, I put together a short little compilation quiz of piano covers from a game series that I know is dear to his heart. I think Huber is a fan as well. See if you can guess which game each song originated from. P.S. Astral Chain is dope. Love and respect, Ben. Okay, so we gotta do the games. You ready?
Ready.
Take it away, Ben. This is tough because this is a franchise that brings tunes a lot.
There it is. There it is.
So this is one, right? I think this is the original. The first Castlevania.
One. Got it.
I don't know the names of any of these.
Hollow Knight? Is it? Yeah, the main town, right? I feel like it is Hollow Knight. Symphony of the Night.
Oh, there it is. Nice. This is fun. I'm saving my rondo answer. Anything I recognize but don't know.
Harmony of Dissonance would have never in my life.
Whoa, we're Circle of the Moon.
Would have never guessed it.
Yeah, this one's not sticking out. Portrait of Ruins, the only one I've played. The Castlevania retro again, I've saw all of them, start to finish, but yeah.
Classic.
Castlevania 2, baby. Louder than us. Oh,
okay. Dude, I used to do this to Brad's eardrum. So loud. Next time you see Brad, ask him about it.
So that's Bloody Tears, and the other one's Vampire.
Bloody Tears. And give me that Marble Gallery. Better be here. Need it.
Love this. Multiple people sang Harmony of Dissonance for this one.
This is excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. There we go.
I want to say Castlevania 4, but I know it's in Castlevania 4. I just don't know if it popped in earlier than that. But if you play this, all I think of is 4. That's just Simon's theme. Nice. Really cool. Thank you, Bren.
Dude, Marble Gallery, I never get some.
It was tough because I try to watch all of these, before they go live. But this one, I was like, oh, it's a game. Oh, I can't watch that one, I guess. Adam Henschel. Hello, Brandon and Huber. I've been wanting to bring something to the showcase for some time now, but I couldn't think of anything that I felt was worthwhile to present. However, after watching last month's showcase, I decided to finally get off my ass and kill two birds with one stone. For years, I've wanted to combine my passion for music with my love of video games, and I'm happy to say that over the past few weeks, thanks to some inspiration from the community, I've started to produce some original piano arrangements and some of my favorite pieces of music from some of my favorite games, both old and new. I've been trying to upload a new arrangement to my channel every weekend, but for today, I brought an arrangement of one of my favorite compositions from Final Fantasy IX Nobuo Uematsu's Festival of the Hunt. I'm fairly new to this style of arranging, so I hope that you both enjoy, and any feedback is greatly appreciated. Thanks for all you guys do. Truly means a lot, Adam. So again, if you not only want to listen to the song again, if you want to, without us talking over it, or if you want to, follow these people, get their Twitter handles, get their Instagram, get their, YouTube channels, you can connect with all of them through the post on our Patreon, and get more from Adam. But here we go. I saw somebody, you know those classic, the new charts where you have all the icons and then you can pick like this one goes in top tier and then the next tier and the next tier.
Yeah,
just
so
sort
tell me
everything.
loves those.
Saw somebody do a Final Fantasy 1 and I was like, yeah, okay. And 9 was so low. I was like, and I was like about to reply and I'm like,
No, nine's top three.
It's fine. It's fine. They didn't
Nine
like
is
nine.
top 3 on every list, no matter what. I'm sorry. What it's got to be like 6, 9, 7 for all of you.
Oh, by the way, the first was Castlevania 3, not 1. Thank you, Ben. Not letting us take that way. He's like, I will not let you think you got that right. Did not, sirs.
Advanced. This is perfect. Six, 7, and 9 is
great.
top 3. Oh, I know you don't like 7. 7's divisive, but I still think it's
Oh, sure.
in there.
Yeah.
6, 7, and 9.
But if we were again picking top 10 Final Fantasy games, I wouldn't make us think about 7. I would just back away from the conversation. I'd be like, just didn't resonate for me. That has nothing to do with its quality overall.
Love 10. Love 12. I like 13. I like 15. 15 was fun.
Also, so awesome to just see this gauntlet that you're running with the sheet music.
So advanced.
Whoa! And a lot of instruments float over my head, but I can read piano music and I used to play, so it's like, good. Wow, man. And you sound so confident, like you are just hammering through this. Shout out to Jessie Blue, that recording that she submitted. 2 minutes, 59 seconds. The whole monologue. Timed it. This was quite a beast to tackle. Nobuo Uematsu, man.
Icon.
By the time he got to this point, he'd written, 8 Final Fantasies.
Amazing. That was really well done.
Wow. I'm gonna.
Yeah, that was really good. That was like if I had heard that in an opera house.
Yeah.
You know, that was like opera house levels of quality.
If you were in, where did you just go? Were you in Greece? Where were you? You were in Portugal.
Yeah.
If you like walked by like a theater or something, heard that like coming out of it, you'd be like, oh wow, did Mozart write that?
Yeah. So good.
No, it did not. And Kevin Gillet, who again just shows up every time with some wonderful, wonderful stuff. Hello, Jonesbur. I hope you're both doing good. My excitement levels are rising as my favorite season is approaching. The temperatures are slowly becoming more bearable, and the 20th of September is getting near. Link's Awakening and Ni no Kuni on the same day. Heck yeah. I still found time a bit short for music throughout this month. I'm still adjusting to my new job, and I've been looking for a new, bigger flat to house my ever-growing pile of video games. Among other things, the new flat has been found, by the way. That being said, I still managed to finish something that was lying around in my computer for years that was propelled back to the storefront of my mind when I found that Brandon and Kyle are playing Pokemon Silver. This makes me happy, as the inappropriate use of caps was meant to convey. Seriously, I can't tell how many times I've rewatched Brandon Plays Pokemon, and I'm excited for you to discover Gen 2. I rewatch Brandon Plays Pokemon every now and then. It's also jolly memories for me. It's fun to go back and remember that stuff. Which brings me to my submission, a take on the Dark Cave theme that we've heard extensively in the first ever Silver stream, which was so funny. Context, because Bossman goes into, I don't know why that's over there. That should have been, what are you doing? Get over there. Yeah, what? Get over there. That Bossman sees this cave and chat's like, oh, you can get Dunsparce in there. No idea what Dunsparce is or what still to this day, no idea what Dunsparce looks like.
Yeah.
And Bossman's like, we're getting Dunsparce. And I'm like, okay, what's the drop rate? Like, less than 1%. We're getting them right now. So of course, like classic Bossman, stream stops for like an hour and 15 minutes, and it's just us in this pitch black cave, just Dunsparce. Nothing but Zubats and what's his name? The rock guy. I'm sorry.
Geodude.
Geodude. Yeah. And
I know my Gen 1. I know my Gen 1!
Geodudes and Zubats, to our heart's content, no Dunsparce. That during that entire time, I couldn't tell you what this theme was because it just wasn't. I'm like, I don't remember. I couldn't hum it for you. I don't know. I have heard this song that you wrote, Kevin, and it's amazing, but it's so funny.
That is funny.
But yeah, this was like an hour of this stream.
That's so good.
Of course, did we catch him? What do you think? Of course not. And
Well, you got to grind.
Well, we did get to grind, and I
So
did
you're
get,
pumped.
and I did get a little extra XP out of it, so I was happy. Which brings me to my submission, a take on Dark Cave theme that we've heard extensively in the first Silver stream, as Brandon and Kyle spent quite some time in the Dark Cave looking for a Dunsparce. One day, while listening to it, my mind started hearing a jazz version of this otherwise haunting theme, and this is what I present to you today. Hope you enjoy. Love and respect. Thank you, Kevin.
This is awesome. Yo, is Silver on Game Boy Advance? Jones?
No, Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color. And it was after...
Directly after Red. Well, I mean after Yellow.
Yeah.
But it was the next
Yeah.
one.
Cool. Yeah, I played Red and then Yellow. Yellow's the same shit. Miss Silver.
People are angry we're not playing Crystal or Soul Silver. Those are like the improved versions. But both Kyle just we wanted it so raw. You know what I mean? Like I want to know literally next step.
Yeah. Totally.
Like I'm ready for my multiplication tables. And people are like, you should learn calculus. I'm like, I'll get there.
Yeah.
I just want Gen 2 and then it's OG form.
This is delightful.
That's what I love about Kevin and these bits here, the breaks, change ups.
Your thoughts on Champ, Jones? You a Champ man?
It's great. Not a fighting type fan. Just for that, that's like the main reason. I think he was in my red party though, for a while. I think he definitely was really contenders. Really satisfying evolution. Probably one of the most satisfying Gen 1. Like every time yes.
Finally.
That's what I want. I really liked how the champs were portrayed in Sun and Moon too. When you see them around the world, it's fun. It's kind of like go up to a person next to a champ. It's like, oh, just remodeling my house. Champ. Oh,
That was delightful.
perfect word. Absolutely delightful.
When's the main Pokemon coming out on Switch?
November,
November?
I think.
What's it called again?
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield, that's right. Pokemon Agents of Shield.
And now on to videos. Wrapping it up. Last category. We are in the home stretch. Zephyr Moon. Greetings, Huber, and welcome back to the Showcase Jones. I don't have artwork this month because I took a much-needed break and managed to get sick and getting ready for Inktober. And so, I have to say, after watching the Crash Team Racing segment on Easy Livin', it gave me an itch. A nostalgic itch, if you will. So I decided to jump into one of my favorite games. That is the other Naughty Dog racing game, Jak X Combat Racing.
Sick.
A sequel to Jak 3, the story takes place after the events of the previous game, where Jak and his friends find themselves on the racetrack for their survival. I'm going to click this video, actually, and lower the volume a little bit, because it's just gameplay, and because there's a long comment in the video, so...
Welcome to another race, newbie. This track has had some of the best highlights and Mondo crashes my show has ever seen. We all love it. Love it! But you won't. Get out there and make the people happy.
I wonder who that is. Wonder if I know that guy. The game itself is divided into 4 cups and many events, including Death Race, Artifact Race, Deathmatch, Rush Hour, and of course, the Circuit Race. The tracks themselves can be very tricky, and if you don't choose the right car for it, you're gonna have a tough time. The tracks also have 3 sets of items called Eco, and it's at random on which items you can get. The items are red, yellow, and blue. Red are for defense, bombs, mines, shields, etc. Yellow are for offense, guns, missiles, etc. And blue are for speed. There's also green eco on the track. That's for health, and and is there for emergencies. You can also build up the dark eco meter from kills, and when it's filled, the weapons get upgraded, and it's permanent until death. A lot of strategy is involved, and using the eco can either be helpful or detrimental. But yeah, it's Mario Kart with guns. I was originally going to show off the hardest track in the game, but it ran for more than 3 minutes. So here's a track that I played through that should help to showcase on why more people should play this awesome game. And Jones, you can forgive 15 seconds, right? Did I mention that the OST is really good? The music in the game is up there when it comes to my favorite OSTs, and it even includes a couple of tracks from Queens of the Stone Age. Also, winning gold in certain tracks can get you prizes like more tracks, advanced car parts, and of course cars, which can be customized and upgraded to the driver's choosing. It's great to jump back into this game, and after not playing it 8 years, and with patch 1.04, it is now playable to how it was on the PS2, minus the save glitch, which can make you lose progress. It's a real blast to play, should be looked at just to have fun. Much love, respect, Sarah Imshock, aka
Oh yeah.
With a little extra
Johnson,
time.
Post Uncharted and Last of Us World. Do you think Naughty Dog will
Another lap in the
this
book.
franchise?
Doesn't feel like it.
It really doesn't feel like it. and
Never
that
say never, but-
saddens me. It doesn't feel like it.
It's a
but-
trilogy, with the exception of Daxter for PSP. And then done. You know?
It gets brought up. I bring it up all the time. Just that holy trinity of Sly, Jack, and Ratchet. Just phenomenal franchises.
I remember
Definitely
Jack
if you
2 and
haven't
Jack 3
played
were released so quickly after Jack 1.
Another
But I
Came
just
out
didn't,
really close to
I just didn't get, yeah, it was kind of like Back to the Future 2 and 3. Like, I didn't have the, like, correct amount of time to, like, get hyped for it. I don't know. Didn't touch Jack 3, got Jack 2, and didn't finish it.
Jack 2's hardcore.
Oh, the first Jack Daxter.
Yeah.
Open world-wise, like, it was monumental. Just, I was loving on my PS2. Was playing lots of SSX and GTA.
Fire in the hole.
Didn't make time for this.
Awesome.
See? Boom, there's your extra 15. We'll cut it. Boom! I ain't afraid. Alright. Here we go. I love this.
That was awesome.
These videos are great, and they're
Love
like
that
the
game.
shortest descriptions in the world. Mr. Alexander Zurianov. Easy Ally, Michael Huber.
I kind of think it's fake.
Yeah, keeps playing it up.
Excuse me, Michael Huber.
Slow down, man.
Shotgun! Where is Huber?
Yep. Shotgun's a 10. I'd love more Resident Evil 6.
You realize we're shooting right now, right? We're putting this up on YouTube.
I'm happy
we
this is-
are?
Yes!
Huber is a simple man. But when Huber gets excited about something, when something's said, he goes, it's always pulling ice with everything with you. Freeze, give me the cash, give me the cash. Boop, 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 boop.
We are easy allies. Got it memorized. All right, what do I do? I thought Ben was gonna say something else, and my brain went to somewhere, and then he said, and then I was confused.
I'll show you. It's a little confusing. So go into you're in town?
But he's Huber and you love him.
Oh my god.
That's because you haven't journeyed with us. I fight in my sleep. I'm gonna need a lot of dimensions here, Bloodworth. Again, where now?
My name is Ben.
You need glasses! No! You need glasses!
Poked my eyeball on the microphone.
My name is
All of your 4K gaming support!
Can get all those pixels.
Huber just sent a message saying, "Yo, new Joker trailer."
I am pleading with you. I am begging you to see this movie.
You will love.
No, I swear. I refuse.
Keeping up with everything Huber wants you to do is a full-time job.
I subscribe to all beliefs. Why didn't you tell me it was a 10? And I was like, all right, who's spoiling this shit?
Oh, hidden barrel
With a bunch of apples.
Never seen this, dude!
No.
Yes!
You gotta pay your respects.
Hubert, no.
That is terrifying, Butter. This is why I don't fire guns.
Meaningful kills is kind of gross.
Oh my god!
I'm ready for a bet.
You want to do a bet?
I don't even know.
Always. I think I have active bet with you. I definitely have an active bet with you, so I'm throwing a bet down with Bloodworth. Bet everything. I'm going to bet my entire life.
What bet did I lose today?
Maybe
It's
the best
Thursdays, Huber. Thursdays are no Huber days.
Thank you. That
was the best
my heart.
montage. Yeah, unequivocally, with full confidence, that was the best one.
That
Best
warms my
montage.
heart.
That Alexandra has made, not the best montage we've seen in the showcase. Although, it's certainly up for that.
I love you.
Gosh, darn it!
I love you so much.
That was really good, Zero.
I love you.
Michelle Jackson. Michelle, I missed 2 months. I've seen the showcases, but I was bummed I wasn't here for your updates. Let's
Hello
get a game
everyone. This
Hey.
month it
Nice.
is all about dialogue portraits because I started school again and dialogue portraits is basically all that I had time to do. To make a long story short, I am completely overhauling all of the dialogue portraits in the game. I think when I started making dialogue portraits, I was a bit ambitious in the amount of detail I was putting into them. And since I'm going to have to make literally hundreds of dialogue portraits, simple is key. Because dialogue portraits in and of themselves aren't that interesting, I'm going to sort of walk through the evolution of the current dialogue portraits. So here is one of my first attempts at making dialogue portraits. As you can see, I didn't even finish them because I was putting way too much detail into each portrait, and it just wasn't feasible for the long haul. Now, here is an example of that same character in the sort of second style I was using for dialogue portraits. The main thing I was simplifying was the clothing designs, but not much in the way of features or hair, and in the end that ended up being just too much detail altogether as well. And finally, here is the current style that I'm using for dialogue portraits. As you can see, it's much simpler. And a weird side effect of that is that I think the characters look a bit cute now, which is sort of an odd juxtaposition, but might be nice since the game is quite dark. This is the first set of dialogue portraits I made using the new style. As you can see, I had a bit of trouble adapting to it, and a lot of these came out very wonky. I'm looking to go back and fix them soon, but for now they are what they are. Thankfully, I did eventually get into the swing of using the new style, and the last few dialogue portrait sets I've made I've been really happy with. The latest set of dialogue portraits I've worked on were for a character named Yetta that I'm actually really super proud of. She uses sign language to communicate, and since it's hard to communicate signing via dialogue portraits, I just had to pick what I thought was the most distinct part of each sign and drew that. Hands are really difficult to draw, which in turn made these portraits really difficult to draw. The other problem with Yetta is that when doing normal dialogue portraits, a single expression can communicate a lot of different ideas, but when you're tying each portrait to a single word, you need more portraits. And that's gonna do it for me. I wish I had more to show, but I really was short on time this month. Bye, everybody.
Everybody's short on time. August rough.
Good stuff. Keep going. Keep at it.
I was short on time. Really great. Yeah, it's crazy to think about drawing all of that stuff. It's crazy because in a lot of RPGs, you see those stills obviously as a time save or a less time intensive project than actually doing fully 3D motion cutscenes with the cameras moving and voiceover, dialogue and everything. And it's crazy to see even like the less complicated version of that, just doing these screens and all of the details that requires and all of that complicated stuff. Oh boy, David Cleland. Hi Huber and welcome back, Brandon. I was a couple weeks late to Mario Maker 2 and missed out on the opportunity to make and submit levels for your group stream. So I've put together a short compilation of some of them, including the Huber-inspired Uneasy Alliance.
Excellent.
Where you and Bowser have to work together to finish the course. Also very happy with Phase 4, loving having more group streams, looking forward to more Achieve It Yourself and the long-awaited return of Gundam streams, and of course, I wait with anticipation and maybe just with a dash of fear for Huber's Prison of Love. As always, love and respect, Dave Cleland. I actually want to write Bowser love, because there's definitely some Bowser love.
Bowser love.
In this episode of the showcase.
Bowser!
Take it away, Dave.
I'm pumped for this. This is sick. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and he just rocks and rolls as you're going through, like... Oh, and you got he's helping you out. Oh, because he can only jump so high.
He's helping you out, dude!
And so you have to... This is awesome. Wow. That's so funny. This is great, too, with all the titles and everything, like...
Stowaway.
Again, just going back through, Dave's journey into this game this summer's like, oh, I love it so much. Oh, the music's really
good. Switches, yes, switches. Song makes me happy, it makes me so happy. I picture penguins every time. Whoa! That was cool.
Just a taste. Ah, dang. Ah, hungry. Hungry for more than a minute and a half. I want more.
Yeah, those were excellent.
Shucks. Thanks, Dave. Jack Price. Hey there, Jones and Huber. For this month's showcase, I figured that I would keep it pretty chill and deliver you some absolute Huber bait. At least he's honest. It's no secret that he loves everyone's favorite pump-action firearm, and so in dedication to that, I thought it'd be fun to make a video showcasing my own top 5
dude, yes,
favorite shotguns.
All right, let's go.
In video games. I was on a bit of a crunch making this, so it's not as clean and professional as I'd like. Also, this is my first time VOing anything, so I know it's not the best, but I had fun making it, so I might make more in the future. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you do, right, Jack?
All right, where's Fear Rank, everybody?
Whilst this weapon doesn't necessarily provide any unique qualities on first inspection, what it does provide is an unwavering dedication to being one of the strongest weapons in any zombie exterminator's arsenal. Based on the classic Benelli M4, this death dealer is capable of outputting an absurd amount of damage to any unfortunate victim that lies in its wake, even able to make short work of the omnipresent threat known as the Witch. An absolute workhorse of a weapon that serves as the blueprint for any semi-automatic shotgun. Whether it's exterminating Locust in single player or fragging some friends in multiplayer, the infamous Nasher can turn any player into a roadie running destructive force to be reckoned with. Whilst its range may be short, its power cannot be denied. Helped by some supremely impeccable sound design, this weapon is capable of turning any adversary into a ludicrous pile of gibs. Combine this power with perfectly timed active reload, and you have a shotgun worthy of being feared.
Active reload.
A unique and overlooked shotgun that provides some of the most visceral white-knuckle thrills that you can hope to have.
I like it.
The Bone Duster is a quad-barreled shotgun capable of launching your enemies with extreme fervor, with an alternate fire that sends a skin-peeling shockwave of energy to incinerate your enemies. Add in a slide and some earth-shattering sound design, and you have one of the most versatile firearms committed to code.
Very good.
The Legend itself. An absolute classic shotgun that's already etched in the mind of gamers everywhere as being part of the Hall of Fame in video game weaponry. able to annihilate any denizen of hell with brutal efficiency. The super shotgun perfectly rounds out Doomguy's arsenal by providing a swift and merciless demise to any demon foolish enough to stand in its wake. The VK-12 combat shotgun from Thea is everything a shotgun should be. Simple, yet powerful. The majesty of the VK-12 is then further heightened by Thea's slow motion mechanic. Decimating an entire room of enemies with VK-12 in slow motion may be one of the highest dopamines I've ever experienced in any video game ever. The explosion of particles, the thunderous bellow, the lifeless ragdoll, everything culminating in a cacophony of pure adrenaline power. This is the true power of a shotgun. Thanks for watching, everyone. Love and respect to you all.
Yes, love and respect.
Oh, so good. So
great
good.
list. Really like seeing Bulletstorm on there. That
I thought really good that you said you had to rush it, man.
Yeah.
Loved it. I'd make one comment about a way to improve your countdown in the future, because it was such a good countdown. And it's just such an easy thing you can do to make it so much better. When you announce a new thing, let the gameplay roll for like 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Especially shotguns. When you go to like number 4, just gameplay. When you just do then bring that audio down, then start talking.
Definitely.
Turn a 9.5 into a 10.
Definitely.
Rob Bob Will, greeting Jones and Huber. The post is very similar to my last, using bits to learn different game engines. I made a little dinky game demo based off a certain set of design documents. The main sprites you may recognize, but I managed to make a few enhancements myself. I'm quite happy with the attack animation in particular. This time I had enough lead time to try 2 different engines, and I'm quite pumped because the second one is exactly what I was looking for, and I think I may be finally ready to start working on something original. I also finished ahead of time and worked on a little bonus bit to test camera fade and pan. Thanks to you both and all the allies for giving us inspiration daily. It says the audio mix is absolutely dreadful. I've dropped the audio, but I will drop it even further. Take it away, Rob Bobwell.
Server life.
There we go.
Yup. This is the deepest cut. Dude. This is such a deep cut. I can't even right now.
So yeah, I think visuals are important in the audio. I can't hear any audio at all. I wanted to make it safe though. Just wasn't blown out for anybody. Yeah, does this have any audio?
Oh, I do hear it now.
Okay.
Barely.
Maybe it may just get super loud like randomly.
Yeah. So awesome.
Chapter 3, Nubin Car's Diner.
Yeah, it's so quiet.
He's just eating.
Bonus bit.
Nice. What? Okay. Maybe just turn up the audio for the bonus bit.
Maybe there should be audio. We're missing something.
The audio's cranked, maybe.
Dang it.
What is that? What sprite is that from? I hear Ian and Brad.
That's it. I think outside you hear them.
I missed it.
I missed it.
Rerun.
Dang it.
Rerun.
Sorry. Yeah, the audio is messed.
It's as loud as I can possibly make it.
Yeah, it's cranked. Dang it.
Looks like Final Fantasy V. Ugh, I can't. We're
Yeah, nothing.
in a crunch, baby.
Sorry.
I gotta move.
Yeah.
I do not know what the bit is.
Dang it.
The bit will be addressed when the bit is understood. Super 3D Cow. Hello, Brandon and Huber. I'm loving all the new streams so far. Thanks for all the hard work. I'm sorry for Bloodworth for forgetting to play a song last month for him. I will remember next time he's on. Since I know you guys love watching this crazy fast poppin' music songs, here's another wild one for you. You know what this is. You know poppin' music. You love it.
Hello, Easy Allies. It's good to have you back, Brandon.
Oh, thanks.
Since I played a song for Huber already in the past, I'm gonna play one for you. This song was made by the game's in-house music team, and they like to make songs challenging just for the sake of being challenging. So today, I present to you Oto. I think for Jones, we're just gonna be Simon Belmont.
Nice.
Okay.
It's a good character.
Give me the Oto.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Oops.
Clack a D, clack, 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 clack.
Wow!
We're almost done. You want to try again? Feel muscle memory. You know what I mean?
I remember one of them, like the one I saw looked hard, but this is a whole nother level.
Like, what's harder, this or that Final Fantasy IX song? I don't know. Oto! It's like, I know Super Cutie Cow enjoys creating this content, but is he enjoying himself right now? That's what I want to know. In this very moment. We have to end the showcase right now.
Whew. Groove gauge filled up. We beat it.
Man.
I
Wow.
love the insanity of that song.
Yeah.
What do we get? What do we get? I want to see.
8 points. New record.
Heck yeah, new record. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.
Thank you, Cow.
Wowzers.
Really, 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 really
Goodness
good.
gracious.
Okay. 3 more actually. One of them I actually have to load in at the desktop, but I'm gonna click this in and then start talking. Hi, Jones and Huber. Happy September. I've been hoping to send you all something in these showcases for a while, and thanks to my Twitch channel coming together and my amazing artist friend Steve, we have a time-lapse video for you. There's no audio in the video, so please could you read all the stuff in the description box over the video when it plays. Thanks very much, and love and respect to all, Ollie. So bang on. There we go. Coming together. Coming together. I love these. I mean, this is like magic.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you get near the end, like the back, because it's like there's no background yet,
Yeah.
you know, and it all comes in there. And no theme suggested, right? I wonder if this is just kind of off the dome, or if this is inspired by something. It's not something I recognize. But and there's this Twitch if you want to check it out. Oh, the rack in the corner. What is that? Is this Outlast? What is that?
Resistance? No.
It's like a recording, you know, like in the bottom left.
Hmm.
Like it's like looking through a camcorder.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
See if anybody. Drawing is fun. It is hard. Yes. Especially like the richness. When you see like an outline of something and then the pen just really quickly just shades it in. It's like, it's so gratifying. It's like a coloring book, except you're just watching it. Like, this has got to be a reference to something. But who knows?
Maybe not.
You see the text in the description, I mean, of the video? I read the posts. Sorry, man.
The Thing. It's The Thing.
If you could read the stuff in the description box over the video when it plays. I got your Patreon post, man. That's, yeah. how the show works. Sorry. If there was an extra place where there was additional text,
Dang.
I don't have it. I got to end the showcase. We got to get ready for the next stream.
It was the thing, they said.
'Twas the thing, which is amazing. I wonder where the... Oh, yeah, duh. Look at the corner of his head on top.
The head, yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, and the helicopter and the... Oh, man. Oh, totally.
So sick.
Of the vid, yeah, sorry. Again, if you want to check this stuff out, there's more information. There's something I could have read. Sorry, Olakan. Yeah. Maybe there's disclaimer information in the show, in each post, so you can understand how the show operates. But that's where I get all of that additional stuff. Factors into the word count and all of that stuff as well. But apologies. And again, I can pick this stuff up later if you want. Please send us more of these things because it's awesome to what you draw, especially if you draw awesome things like Thing. Have you seen the original Thing?
3,000 times.
No, like black and white.
Oh, no.
The original Thing.
Nope. I know it's playing in
hilarious
Halloween.
camp, but
We're watching it in Halloween, the original.
It's fascinating to see what Carpenter started with.
That's sick.
Where you're like, good job, John Carpenter.
Nice.
Good job making that movie. Badass. All right. And then apologies, we have another video from Vimeo, which again is tougher to get that raw file, so I'm just going to bring that up from Mason Victoria. We should be ending on this, but we will not. But I definitely want to be here for when Huber watches this for the first time. From Mr. Dan Allen. Finally, the day is here. Episode 1 of the Shenmue EZA dub. Nice. Hello, Jones and Huber. So, about this whole Shenmue EZA dub thing. When I split all the episodes up into 3-minute parts, the pieces all fit in place pretty well. Except the first part that was about 10 minutes. I knew I had to cut it down into 2 parts. It was hard to get this very first episode under 4 minutes, and so I'm surprised I did. But the moral of the story is the first episode is a little over the time limit. Do what you will. I promise the parts coming after this will be much more of the on the nose of 3 minutes. My apologies for that. With that being said, enjoy episode 1 of 9 of the Shenmue EZA dub, starring Daniel Bloodworth, Kyle Bossman, Bradley Ellis, Michael P. Huber, and Brandon Jones. All of the love, all of the respect. Dan Allen, Detroit, Michigan. I will, and very rarely do, but in this case, I will bend the rules a little bit, add that extra minute, because Dan has put in a tremendous amount of work on this, and I'm curious to see it, and we got Huber here, and I'm sure everyone wants it. So here we go, folks.
The drama, the build.
Huh? Ine-san. Ine-san.
Yo-san. I'm alright. But Hazuki-sensei...
My father?
With the music, it is just, it's a gift, quite frankly. It's to be savored. 9 parts of this, my goodness. It's gonna take a while. It's the build! It's so tense. Kyle. Oh no. I mean, after all this, the first one better be 4 minutes, you know?
Oof. Fukusan. Fukusan!
Ryo-san.
Fukusan.
Yes. Oh, so yes. Yes.
Yeah. Dude, can you get me a burrito, Ian? Father!
Stay back, Rio.
For the last time, where is the mirror?
I've no intention of telling you.
Sick. That was good.
Bossman kicking my
Father! Why you?
Now then.
No matter how often you ask, I'll never tell.
Wow.
No! Don't!
Hand over the mirror. Or else your son.
Wait!
Yes.
Woo!
Yep.
Edge of my seat right now.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
We're gonna do this quick. I got one more video. I gotta set it up and then play it. I'm gonna play it over here on the desk, and then we're gonna wrap up, folks.
That
Thank
was
you everyone for submitting the showcase. Thank you, Michael Huber.
a labor of love right there.
Thank you, Michael Damiani, for doing this in my absence. Set this up real quick.
I can't wait. Are we we're getting one a month of that?
1 a month, yeah.
Oh. I need to binge it. Netflix me. Netflix me. Let me binge. Chad, thanks for everything. Thanks for helping Easy Allies be Easy Allies. It would not be possible without you. Thank you for all of these awesome showcase. What's the word I'm looking for? Contributions? Contributions?
Contribution, sure.
Yeah. And we got Man of Medan coming up after this. Long way to go. Jones is queuing up the last of the videos for the showcase. He's getting it ready. Holding. Hold.
Hold.
Any idea of next month's guest? I'm not sure.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. Should have looked that up. Should have had that ready.
Yeah, sorry about the internet hiccup earlier. Jones is almost set. He's getting everything
Okay.
nice and
Make sure the audio is available.
set. Father! Kyle told me he's playing Dragon Quest VIII, and it warms my little bones.
All right, here we go. This is from.
This looks fantastic already.
Mason Victoria. Hi, Brandon and Huber. This week I'll be returning to a school for a master's in music and music technology and digital media. It's been 2 years since I've been a student, and although I feel older, wiser, and much more organized, I can't shake off that feeling that I'll still be holding all-nighters and late submissions because of all the upcoming 2019 and 2020 releases. In the process of creating my artist portfolio, I was lucky to not only work on Swordcery with some extremely talented artists in the EZA community, but an animated short film that has been accepted into festivals around the world. In the words of the animator, the film is a tribute to the artistic contributions made by 19th century Filipino artist and social activist Juan Luna, and a romantic horror based on the urban legends that surround the cursed painting Portrait of a Lady. Please enjoy. Love and respect, Mason Victoria. That has been the Community Showcase. We love all of you. If we missed anything, let me know at Trailer Jones, Brandon at Easy Allies. We will put it in next month's showcase. Thank you, Michael Huber. You'll see this guy back soon as possible. We're going to be back streaming soon. Man of Medan night, 6-hour full playthrough of Man of Medan. Take it away, Mason Victoria.
Could be shorter if we all die.
Yeah.
See you soon, chat. Thank you. Love you.
Good teaser. Thank you, Huber. I love you.
Love you too, Jones.
We'll be back in just a little bit. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.